One of the biggest things we lost in the fall was community. Countries disintegrated, and without mass media, entire subcultures simply vanished. For decades, our first and often only concern was survival. When the wastes became the new normal, communities started to spring up again. Settlements had to stay small because the angels destroyed any that got too big. But community is more than a place. New subcultures emerged, more suited to the new world. More than ever, these were tribes, sometimes literally. Out in the wastes, a tribe's bond is tighter than blood. Loyalty is strength, and when that bond is broken, it can feel like everything that had been gained is lost. Imagine the pain of a captain whose first mate betrayed them. Tonight, we have such a tale.
We are going to start with a van rolling down the broken highway. The van used to, at some point, have been one of those modified ice cream vans. Not originally built as one, but has all the old peeling stickers on it and the small roll-down window. It hasn't been an ice cream van for a very, very long time, and is also clearly barely running. So there's a lot of backfires and noise as the thing rattles down the road. So can you give me the captain?
So Captain Tahna is sitting in the back seat. She's got these long, like dusty dreadlocks sort of braided onto the side of her, like going down the side of her like neck and down her red, smudgy, like dirt encrusted clothing. And she's got like a little stiletto dagger out, and she's carving the word pike over and over into that peeling stickery window of the ice cream truck.
Right.
And just it's just a low level cuss. It almost sounds like humming musically, but she's just cursing her.
It's almost like somebody that was captured in the van might write help.
Yeah.
You're writing pike.
Pike.
Yeah. So you're actually sitting beside a big weapon, the turret you brought, which is strapped down with those moving truck straps. And you're back there to caretake it. Up front is your driver. He's somebody you've hired for the trip. He's a pig-faced mutant named Monty. Monty is good at driving and is handy with a shotgun. So one small thing we didn't go over for the captain is the captain isn't actually a pilot or a driver. So if you succeed in your quest, you don't immediately start driving because you're the captain. Captain's captain.
Yeah.
Pilot's pilot. Navigators navigate. Cooks cook. So you actually aren't really much for driving. If you look at your sheet, I don't think you have much of a driving skill.
No, I do not.
So looking out the window past the word pike, you see your destination. So the destination is actually, let's make sure we get the name right. I got the wrong sheet here. Sorry. A Billy Badger Superstation. So Billy Badger is our pretend version of the Buc-ee's franchise. So Billy Badger has got the same sort of big, ridiculous mascot. There's a big statue of it standing outside. And it's the kind of place, if you gave 7-Eleven like steroids and it just replicated out of control, so it was the size of a Toys R Us, that's what these places are. So you've been told that the people you're looking for are encamped there, and that it's a settlement they call the Shire. Oh, Miss Captain. Why do they call this a Shire? It's a truck stop.
I don't know. Maybe they're all a bunch of hobbits. Why are you? This is more communication than I want or need now.
Oh, right. So when you said, don't speak to me or look at me, you weren't kidding.
That was not hyperbole, no.
I'm not sure.
Are we going to keep doing this?
Oh, right. And you pull up and you begin to see why they call it the Shire. So take one of those truck stops and then populate it with Ren Fair escapees. So it kind of looks like it's been draped. Like it's like if a one of those medieval times restaurants exploded onto it. So there's little flags hanging from everything, and there's an old like suit of armor out front, which looks super janky. So it's like somebody has fake medievalized the truck stop.
Nice. And she kind of, sorry.
No, go ahead.
She kind of smirks with, and like gives a little like snort, and her incisors, like she's got like gold, like little fangs over them.
Oh yeah.
And as she kind of pats that big piece of machinery in the back, she just rolls her eyes and like mutters, so Monty can hear, but this isn't conversation. He's not obligated or encouraged to respond. Like, I'm sad I was right. It looks like we're going to be able to find like a turkey leg and some syphilis here, but sure, let's go.
He starts to say something and then just goes, yep, and pulls up right in front. And a couple of people come out, and they've got standard waster like clothes that are patched so they still hang together, but over that they have tabards, belted tabards. So it's almost again like, you know, people running out to fuel a vehicle like an old 50s gas station, but they're like Rennies, and they're just there to greet you as you come out of the car.
Nice. Did Nomi give me like a name?
So the names that you got, she would have said, if you want ass kicked, and it's clear from talking to you that kicking ass is what's called for here, you're looking for Torg. There is no way you can miss Torg. I'm not even going to give you a description. The only description you're going to get is you can't miss Torg. As far as, they don't seem to have a leader, but the one who at first may strike you as not making the most sense, but actually kind of does, is the one that calls himself Agent Goldwater.
Okay.
Oh, and the kid that says he can do magic, it sounds like he's full of shit, but he's not. He really can. No, I know, right?
Seriously?
I saw him do he does a thing where his head goes on fire and looks like a skull. It's not as awesome as it sounds, but it's pretty cool.
It actually sounds pretty awesome. So that's pretty disappointing. Thank you for that.
I aim to please. So you get out, and the people from the Ursat's gas station, Shire, welcome to the Shire, milady.
Oh, you all committed to this, didn't you?
I'm third generation.
Well,
how can we help you?
Methinks I'm looking for Torg.
Lord Torg. He's one of those that is one of our protectors.
Prithee, go fetch him post haste. I hate doing this. I'm done with this now. Thank you.
So for a minute, you could see there was this enthusiastic gleam in his eyes when you're playing back. It's sadly, as somebody who's worked Ren fairs, a gleam that every one of us that works the Isles gets when anybody ever responds in a way that's playful. You get this like, oh God, it's not sad. We can play. But then you follow up by just crushing his dreams. And the other one steps forward. He kind of steps back and he's clearly crestfallen. Is it safe to call you Captain?
Yes, Tahna.
Tahna, Captain Tahna. All right, I'll go fetch Lord Torg. Goodbye. I'll be right back. And runs off.
And Tahna's going to keep staring at the one that she made sad and waits till like less attention is on her.
Sure.
And is going to like lean in and be like, forsooth, beg pardon. I'm sorry. If this is your thing, I only know like 3 words. I don't mean to throw a whole wrench in your thing. It's very
cool. So he
cool.
makes sort of a oh shucks kind of thing, but doesn't actually engage because he's got enough of a read of you to figure out that's probably just what it. This is he knows that's the best role he's going to get. So let's stay on the table.
Yeah.
Torg, you're helping them move a large object. We'll say it's an old drinks machine that doesn't work, but they need it moved. They use it to block doors when necessary during siege, things like that. it helps to have this thing is the size of a big can Coke machine, physically large, and only you really are of the proper strength and disposition. If they're, my Lord Torg, could we budge that object from there to thence?
Torg can't do it with ease. Give Torg 1 second. Torg walks over to the machine and just puts one hand on the top and palms it and lifts it up like it's nothing.
So you move
and
it
just
over.
Carries it like this.
So everybody here has hero worship for the 6 of you, particularly you. So one of them is always ready with the waster version of Gatorade. So anytime you do like a feat of strength, they've got a little souvenir bucket that they've made. They're made up, fake Gatorade. They pass it over. My lord, refreshment?
Torg, take refreshment. Splash into Torg mouth. Torg opens mouth wide and just has them hurl the drink.
He energetically splashes you with fake Gatorade. Todd runs in from the front of the building. He prefers to be called Mastroth of Kar. You know his name is Todd. Lord Torg, we have a visitor who has asked for you by name.
Todd, someone asked Torg? Direct Torg asking?
He winces when you call him Todd. Yes, right out front. She arrived in an ice cream van.
Torg heard tale of ice cream. Torg very excited to meet ice cream woman.
So Merlin puts down his pricing gun. I'd advise against getting your hopes too high up, my lord.
I mean, Torg understand ice cream no go, but Torg still excited to see woman with ice cream drive machine.
He walks over to Nevad and to the side says, I'm going to have to start working on a cold spell, aren't I? I undo your mute.
I was so startled that I didn't a cold spell like a
yes. Like, well, if we could produce Torg with even a scoop of ice cream.
I mean, I don't really do that kind of magic, but
I might be able to.
Oh well, if you could do that, then you could teach me.
Your talents seem to be, and he puts a reassuring arm on your shoulder. People have different talents, my boy.
Yeah, I know stuff and I break stuff. That's kind of my thing.
You seem to be surpassingly good at what did Eric say? Fucking shit up.
Yeah, I mean, but look, just Merlin, you and me, between you and me, I'm good at fucking shit up, like doing damage. But then sometimes I kind of like I fuck up, and then there's like a problem.
Well, there are many traditions that believe that anything negative you put into the world comes back on you threefold. I'm not sure the threefold rule is not still in effect. We might have to talk about finding ways for the negative repercussions of the destructive damage that you do, keep it from hurting you.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
Not too hard. You might.
No, just
confidence.
What I'm doing with my life.
Oh, Nevada, I didn't mean to break you.
All right, it's okay. Where are we going?
So, meanwhile, Torg, you head out front, and let's have a physical description of Torg as Torg emerges from the building.
Absolutely. Torg is a very tall, statuesque person. Not really person, but
not a girl. Yeah.
Not a girl.
Not a robot.
Well, actually, Torg is Torg. So
yeah,
Torg is Torg. Torg responds to they. Torg responds to he. Torg responds to she.
Torg is very fluid, and Torg really is who Torg is. So Torg will really respond to whatever you call them, but usually refers to themselves as just Torg in every instance. But yeah, Torg is Torg. Torg is Torg. Torg is very smart, but talks in a way where they are perceived to be dumb, but they are not. Torg is a brute. Torg is over 7 feet tall, has beautiful green, scaly skin, see-through lips on occasion, depending on the atmosphere. Also, Torg has a gorgeous long rainbow braid that is au naturel, thanks to the nuked radiation environment. Does not need to hunt down rainbow colors to make this do stay tip top. Torg really loves finding old 80s members only leather jackets and anything that looks old and you know what Torg likes to call Torg cool. That's what Torg wears. Torg keeps trophies such as ears from every person that Torg conquers. However, it is not in a gross, mean, haha way. It's an honor. So all of Torg's armor is covered in basically halters.
What are your
And, like,
what are your fists right now?
so that's what I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember where we left it.
What it was? What was it? The Roach Moans?
It was the Roach Moans, but did you punch anybody out on the last time?
Just fake punching. Just fake
No,
punching.
it's fake.
Yeah, fake. I didn't actually
Oh, right.
hurt any. Like I have to kill someone.
I think. Oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
'cause
so
you got
when
you scared the crap out of Foxboy, but he's not worthy of your fists. That kid was not worthy of your fists.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still Roach Moans.
Roach Moans. Okay. Yeah.
Are you
So
wearing?
basically, what Nevada is referring to is Torg also honors their latest kill by honoring their previous life and naming their fists after them. And so every time Torg takes out a new person, because Torg is gentle in spirit, and Torg fight no problem, but Torg want to make sure that the fallen are being honored, so Torg lets them live on in Torg fist power.
That's a pretty good deal.
Are you wearing?
Yeah, right?
Are
Torg
you
thinks
wearing your scarf?
Oh, right. Torg almost forgot about scarf. And I should have grabbed next stream. Torg, in honor of their late and dear friend B, Torg wears the gift that was given to them by B, by the late B, which is a glorious, amazing Doctor Who style scarf in rainbow colors.
Nice.
So, what does Captain Tahna look like?
So Tahna is like 6 feet tall, but yeah, has like dark skin, she's tried to approximate as close as she can get to old things that she's seen of pirates. So has like a long duster cloak, like brown pants, like high knee-high boots. In lieu of being able to find an eye patch, she tends to wear this like cut bit of linen like across her eyes with like little eye slits open for it to keep dust out over in the Desolation, and she keeps it kind of bunched up over her forehead and occasionally down over an eye, like, and it's just she's got a big hat on, she's trying to be cool, and she's just sort of rolling like a little black metal washer across her fingertips like a coin.
So something people will see over time that won't be immediately obvious is Tahna has a mutation that are shadows that cling to her, but when she's calm, they're barely noticeable. So it's almost like somebody, well, literally, I just realized I'm doing this. So normal with mutation. So generally it's like the shadows are just darker on her. If you're a comic book nerd and you know who the character's Sunspot is,
Yes.
when she gets super pissed off, the shadows go almost completely black. So at that point, like depending on her mood, the shadows deepen.
Nice.
So you won't.
And I think
notice
she
that at
leans
first.
into that by like keeping herself like in shadow a lot of the
For
time.
sure. And the other thing is, the one thing that's not affected are her eyes. So like Sunspot, well, not like Sunspot literally becomes a silhouette. She becomes almost a silhouette except for her eyes, which makes her look scary as fuck. Super intimidating. But you won't notice that right away. So you come out, Torg, and there is this woman standing in front of an ice cream truck.
Are you ice cream truck woman who look for Torg?
Oh, you are absolutely Torg. Yes.
Yes, I am.
And she kind of like flips the coin in her hand and catches it and then offers the other one, like the Captain Tahna. It's a pleasure to meet you. You
Torg
are
very happy to meet ice cream lady.
Oh, I don't know why and she looks back at the ice cream van and kind of rolls her eyes, but she's also going to like try to subtly elbow close the van door just to keep her little bargaining chip off the table for as long as possible.
You can hop into the front seat and go out by the other door so they wouldn't see the van.
Perf.
Yeah.
It's do you
Monty drives over they have a side parking lot where there's other vehicles. And he kind of just nods to you, having figured out not to talk to you.
Yeah. If anyone goes for the back door and isn't me, kill them. Thank you.
He gestures to the shotgun, which is literally lying next to him.
You're a good man. Well trained. Okay. So do you speak for your people? I have an
Torg
offer.
speak for Torg, but Torg happy to take any offer to people and check with family. Family important. But Torg can definitely listen on behalf of family.
Noted. Okay. Yeah, I think Tahna's trying to like she's actually clocking like despite the like third personness, like that's the right play here, and is trying to figure out what Torg's like. Okay, I see you.
So the greeter is actually standing by the door because they're having this conversation like in front of the door, and sort of like you can tell there's a little tension because he can't figure out, do I welcome them and open the door, or do I just ignore them, or do I run away?
What choice are you gonna make?
To give you privacy. And he goes inside.
Oh, they're so smart here. Huh. Love to see it. Well,
Shire people, pretty smart people. Maybe not as smart as Torg. Maybe he's not as smart as you. You seem like smart ice cream lady. Tahna, correct?
Yeah, Captain Tahna. You keep mentioning ice cream.
So sorry, Captain Tahna.
Oh no.
Torg understand the importance of titles.
Oh, do you have a title? Is Torg the title? What are we doing?
Torg is Torg. Torg. Other people title Torg. Torg okay with that, but Torg also okay with no title. Torg.
Huh. Well, that's gonna keep me awake at night. Why don't we grab some food, a beverage? I would love to make you a proposition, Torg.
So Torg, the other characters who happen to be on the stream today are all in residence. You do have an area that they call the food court, which is just, they have little areas in these kinds of places. They've got little chairs for the area in the center where they used to have, churros and hot dogs, and you could go sit and buy a beer, waste more money. You use that as places to sit and talk. So you definitely have a place you can gather. And the people here at the Shire know to keep a respectful distance, almost to the point where, as friendly as Torg is, it's almost a little annoying that you have to call them over to you because you don't seem to have the captain's desire for spatial privacy, and they give that by default. So you head inside, and let's just say the group is gathered. The group is gathered. You are all in the, and you see this woman as previously described. And let's very quickly, starting with Navad, get a physical description, please.
So Lord Navad is like a 17. He's not. Nobody's really quite sure, but he's a late adolescent male, about 6'4", 6'5", very leggy, very skinny. He wears wizard robes, black and silver wizard robes, but with a jean jacket over the top, sneakers. So he's got like a little black emo comb over, kind of like a little like shaved on the sides and a little flop there. His in addition to that, his most notable feature is he's got his eyes are mutated or have been altered to take on the shape of skulls. The pupil and iris of his eyes are like skulls, essentially. Oh, and I called it canon. Some fans have added each. He's got a skull earring in each ear, so I'm going for that. He's
Nice.
He's got little, and they're like dangly ones, like not like big honking skulls, but not studs. They're like on a little chain that hang down a little bit.
You do realize all of your seemingly lampooning descriptions are me at age 19, right?
Yeah, no, dude. Like this is a guy. Like the fact that this is like 100 years after a nuclear apocalypse that makes the laws of physics shatter, and there's magic and also radiation. There are still like edgelordy 17-year-old boys.
There's a
That
club
can never
called,
go away.
No,
club called Neo in Chicago. I definitely had the little dangly skull earrings, exactly like you described. Dr. Wynona. And one more thing about Navad. Are you wearing the Spellweaver Sam toy wand? Like, do you tuck that into your belt? Or is that in your room on a stand or something?
No, it's like, so my actual denim jacket has interior pockets, and I think it's like he's got it tucked away
for
on
men, right? Like it's a mail jacket, so it's got pockets.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what would a pocket even be like? Jealous.
So he's got it tucked away. It's not, he doesn't wave it around prominently, but it's a totem that he carries.
In a pen pocket.
Yeah.
On the inside.
It's like what it's like the Imperials carry their.
Oh yeah.
Not quite that. Not quite like that.
I'm not going to admit I know what those are, but
no. They're.
So, Dr. Wynona, what do you look like?
Wynona wears she's fox-like, so she's got fox-like features, gray hair everywhere. She is average height, so about 5'4", 5'5", very voluptuous, very curvy. She loves fashion, so she's often very trendy. She loves InStyle magazine. She likes to color coordinate. She'll do anyone's colors. If you're wondering if you're in autumn, winter, just come see her. She has been living in not a fantasy world, but she hasn't really seen the nuked world for what it is until recently when her beloved bee passed away. So now reality's kind of setting in for her slowly but surely. But other than that, she's very optimistic. She is working on finding Lord Navad's real age by using science, examining his facial hair, tone of voice, other body parts, if you know what I mean. She always carries a medical bag, and she has her beloved Borg with her everywhere, who is just the cutest little dog in the whole wide world.
Can we get a shot of the incredibly cute Borg?
Yeah, that's a horrifying woof.
So in the setting, the dogs died out of a plague a long, long time ago, actually before the fall. This was an attempt to make kind of like an AI, like a genetically engineered pet that was going to be a dog, but they only got that far. And during one of the very first adventures, this group found a factory where they're making these things. And some of them were still there living on organic paste spit out by one of the machines. And for some reason, because of her incredibly powerful big heart, Wynona saw one and said puppy. And rather than every other, I think all the rest you basically just mowed down, right?
No, we freed them all.
We cracked open the side of the warehouse and let them all out.
That's right.
And they ran off and were free. They
Even though
probably
they
all
were,
died, but
yeah. Okay, so that's Bork. Bork has been affected by magic, so has long purple hair, and during a session was given a cable knit sweater. So is sort of like a if somebody really dotes on like a purse dog, that's kind of how Bork is treated. But Bork is a big mutant sloppy mess. So take that little thing and make it like gremlinize it. So it's just a scoop of bad ideas. Agent Goldwater, physical description, please.
Yeah, Agent Goldwater looks almost entirely human. The slight constant sunburn due to a sensitivity to sunlight, and if when he gets frustrated, you can see his forked tongue come out. Facially, he looks like a mix between Clark Gregg and Tom Jane. Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson, and Tom Jane, who played a bunch of characters, but also the Punisher, which is apt because he's sort of a combination between Agent Coulson and the Punisher, as he is a post-apocalyptic IRS tax agent, which means you pay your taxes or you get an audit if you don't. And an audit is kind of what the Punisher does. You broke the law, and there's the laws have changed now.
Yeah.
So kind of the last remnant of the U.S. government is the IRS, which has taken on the role of fixing through taxation and redistribution of those taxes to assist the people who need it most. Kind of annoying. You'll find out.
Yeah. So one of the reasons it gets confusing for some people he interacts with is there's been no United States for like 120 years. The United States was replaced by corporate states. So the state you're currently in is actually called Texan, which was a corporate-run state, and then that fell. So it's kind of like the movie The Postman, if the postman were a self-appointed IRS agent. Okay, so this group of people, and in this setting, saying mismatched doesn't really ever apply because that's kind of universal, is sitting in the equivalent of like, a little like sit and nosh place like at a Galleria in the middle of this weird little strip mall truck stop thing. And the people in the Shire, Tahna, they all seem to regard these individuals as superiors. Like they address them as Lord and Lady. They are deferent to them, although you get different levels of discomfort with that from them. So it doesn't seem to you, being the experience you have with leadership, it doesn't look like this was thrust on these people, because there's a moment when you're like, oh shit, these people took over this place. And it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it works for both of them. Like it seems like a good relationship for all of them, but it's a little odd. And they start bringing you over, beef jerky and drinks and just loading you up with snacks and then backing away.
Sweet. Quick question. Does any one of the people that's like sort of deferentially dropping off stuff, do any of them look sketchy enough to maybe have a bead on where I could get some piggy while I'm here?
So there's one of them who is a woman who's middle-aged, and she's wearing kind of the medieval times, like over garb shit, but her look is like somebody who's got a meth addiction who's trying real hard to maintain and is doing her tasks really half-assed, but clearly just doesn't want to call attention to herself.
Nice. When she comes over, I'm gonna like catch her hand a little bit, like just like by like the clothing before she gets up, and just give her a little like in her ear. See if she responds.
Roll a d6 moment.
6. I don't know if that's good.
She winks. All right, milady. And she heads off.
Okay. Looks like the gang's all here. It's Oh, you come highly recommended. You know my good friend Nomi, do you not?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know Nomi?
Mm-hmm.
You did not tell Torg. You
Oh.
know me.
I apologize. That's how I know who all of you are and why I've come so very far to seek your services. If you're not busy with, I don't know, a joust or something.
So you catch, actually, Wynona catches one of them, a guy named Martin, who has been talking about trying to run motorcycle jousts so often. People just have adopted the "shut up, Martin" as like a chant. And when she says that, he hears it, God help you all, perks up and runs off to tell his brother.
Oh dear. You don't know what you just did. I'm Dr. Wynona, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Offers out her hand to like shake hands.
Of course.
Yeah. That's you've a very nice fur.
Oh, thank
Is that
you.
eggs?
I wash it 3 times a day if we're not on a mission. Yeah, I groom myself quite often. Thank you for noticing. No one really does notice, so that means a lot to me. Appreciate that.
Anyway,
I'm Lord Navad. Did Nomi ever say anything about me?
yes. She mentioned you very specifically.
Oh, really? What'd she say?
And she's kind of like clocking him, like, all right, he looks like he's like half Ren Fair. Maybe this is the magic boy.
So, Tahna, let's go ahead and use a game. Good time to warm up the game rolls. Give me an inside check, please.
Oh God. All right. I can do this. Dice, please do not fail me today. Please cooperate. Okay, 3 6s.
Oh, they were intimate.
Oh God.
Like Navad, it's you really want to play poker with Navad. Like everything about Navad is right on his face. And he's dancing around asking for like what you were told. And he's obviously either nervous or excited that the incident would have been mentioned to you.
Amazing. She's gonna lean in once she like figures it out after a couple minutes of like hemming and hawing. Just says, she mentioned that you were incredibly capable.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, did you hear that? Oh, bless your heart.
I told you guys.
You did.
Yeah, Bork wags his tail, so does Navad in his very own way.
Well, if we have put all of our pleasantries aside, I've honestly got a real small tank for all of that, but I need help getting my ship back. And I've heard that you've spent a little time in Desolation, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a pirate from those parts, and my very good ship, the Fuck Off, was fucked off with by an obnoxious little goblin named Pike, and I want my ship back.
It's almost like art imitating life.
Almost. No, it's more like pirates do mutiny, and you know, all part and parcel of the life.
Mhm.
Well, Torg, curious, if you pirate and you say you used to this and this is what pirate do, then why not just steal some other fuck off? Why have to have your fuck off? Why don't you just do what pirate do?
No, I like my boat, so we're gonna go get it back if you're interested.
I will add, although this doesn't need to be revealed to the group, it's building a sand sledge like that was not easy. and finding people to be able to do one that could actually function, you wouldn't even know where to start. It's not like it was a thing prior to the fall, so it's something they built post-apocalyptic on skis to surf, to be able to sail on sand. And it's like, well, other than the fact that it's basically unique, I just replace that somehow, right?
Well,
And,
I
like,
stole this one from Ramos. I can steal another, but that's not the point. I want mine.
And Mike, do we know what she's talking about when she says ship? Do I assume it's actually like a boat, or is this not common knowledge?
Who's got the highest lambda?
I think Wynona does.
Yeah, I think that's probably Wynona.
Okay, so Wynona, because there's other people involved, you can roll at 1 extra die, and we'll see if the group has heard about ships sailing on the sand.
Yep.
You have heard rumors about one thing about necessity being the mother of invention. Apocalyptic scenarios of all kinds call for that. They kick that shit into overdrive, and so you've heard it. There's rumors, you've not seen it, that there's at least one ship literally sailing on the sand. Actually, considering you made the roll, let's say that it's something that Nomi mentioned when you were, she wasn't super social, but she talked a little.
Okay.
She didn't name the specific one, and she didn't name Captain Tahna, but she did say, well, you're probably complaining about how slow it was going and how quickly your car broke down. She's like, well, there is a better way. And probably mentioned it under that context.
Is it wind powered? Is
Yeah.
that okay?
That's big skis. It's
Big skis, but the wind is what's the propellant at the
and literally a sail. They literally
sail.
And
Okay.
so we've heard of them, but we've never seen one before. Is that correct?
correct. You've heard of not necessarily them, but of the technology, the fact
Okay.
that these ships can exist.
Well, Captain, I have never seen what you're speaking about, but I did lose a Michael Kors handbag 2 years back. And I didn't call it the fuck off. I called it the My So Pretty. And I found a knockoff 6 months later, but it was not the same. So I'm inclined to help you. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, Torg has been very excited ever since they heard rumor of such boat. Torg very, very interested to see what boat looked like. Torg excited. Torg down. However, Torg helped friend of fam, of course, but I guess not for Torg to sound insensitive, but what do Torg fam get for helping?
At that point, sort of subtly, so some of you may notice, the captain certainly does. The same employee, Jennifer, comes over and places an old look in, and there's 2 pills in there. And she does this.
Yeah. Thank you. And she tries, Tahna tries very quickly to sort of just grab the cup and just nurse it, and it's gonna wait for an opportunity.
Oh, do you want to slip one of those? Do you want to take one?
Yeah, no, she's gonna wait for a couple minutes because this doesn't seem like the appropriate time to indulge.
And once you indulge, it gets borderline orgasmic. So there's a difference between that's yummy and oh my god, every taste is a new explosion and new nerves firing. It's kind of hard to hide that.
That's a sometimes food.
Sometimes. Is
so you none of this is probably none of you realizes she's doing this. Piggy,
no, I know, but I'm asking, do we know what it is?
If you were told, you probably do. It's a pretty common. It's a med. It's a drug that makes you super, super, super hungry, and it's got a massive, endorphin rush. Pleasure centers go firing, but a lot of people won't take it because when you're done, you've super overeaten, you've trashed your system, you end up, lying around like you were hit by 3 Thanksgivings in a row in an hour. But people who take it, are tough enough to live through that. The captain looks tough enough. So none of you have seen this though at this point.
No. I know. I just wanted to know if we were aware of what this is.
This is a drug. This is a drug people have heard of. Everybody's heard of this or whatever.
Yeah.
There's two or three pretty common what amounts to street drugs they're able to synthesize post fall, and Piggy is one of them.
Okay.
Piggy sounds like something Torg would have dabbled with. Pretty strong. I have a sneaking suspicion that Torg has enjoyed the Piggy in the past.
Well, let's just make that canon then.
Yeah. Can I do an insight check to see if like Torg is down with Piggy? Because that can be a bonding point.
I am just going to go ahead and say, because it's the most entertaining, that because when something's entertaining, rolling just gets in the way. We're going to say that Torg noticed the exchange, so you will notice, and you probably sat next to Ice Cream Lady because you are instant friends with people and are able to see into the cup, and you know what those are.
I also imagine like Torg just based on size and eating a lot. Like you take the normal amount and you like, what the big deal?
Yeah. Well,
this have no effect.
So I'd also imagine that Torg probably didn't take it again, because if you are already a lion and you take a drug that ramps up your metabolism and your hunger to like 10 times normal, Torg ate fucking everything. And probably the come down from that was terrible. But while it was happening, it was amazing. But I imagine afterward, Torg was like, Torg don't want to do this again. But that's completely up to you. But you certainly know what it's like.
I'd say that peer pressure is coming.
I feel like I have a feeling. We'll get to that. We'll see how Torg feels about that.
Gotcha.
But Torg does, as you say, or as you just said, Torg did see the Piggy in the glass, and so Torg just looks over, like gives a little side eye to the captain, to Tahna, and Torg thinks they're being subtle, but Torg is 7 feet tall and green and not the best at subtlety. So Torg means to just take the elbow and slightly like nudge and do a wink, but what Torg actually does is shove them a little bit and like go
Jesus Christ. She's gonna put the mug down like that blew up her spot, so she's just gonna put it back on the table and nurse her rib cage. Like, okay, punctured a lung, this is fine.
And then Torg immediately goes, "Oh, Torg, sorry."
I'm going to go ahead and narratively get us into the adventure, because I don't picture the group passing up the negotiation. Typically, Goldwater takes over these kinds of things. Would he in this case?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it would be we come to an amicable solution, but I also would make you just sign a bunch of papers.
Nice.
If you say that's great. Most people really push against it, so that's cool. I'm glad you.
Totally
We got a portable dot matrix printer, so it does the thing with the little strippies on the side with the
yes.
Yep.
Oh God, forever paper.
Yep.
Yeah. Just for what it's worth, you were asking about the price. She's got a massive like auto gun that she was gonna hold back, but was gonna put on the fuck off, but is gonna offer it to you guys instead as payment.
And there are a couple of people in the Shire that would know how to hook that thing up, which would then give you a gun basically above the main entrance.
Up on the truck.
No, on the base.
How big is this gun?
It would have
Really
been
good gun.
on the ship. It would have been on the front of the ship, like a ballista.
I got you. So it's not like a personal. It's not like a machine gun you'd mount on the back of a pickup truck. It's like
She traded for scavenge. It was something taken off a building.
Gotcha.
Why I didn't want to give it to you at first.
Had to put it in a whole ice cream truck.
The whole
That's
truck.
in the back of the ice cream truck. And when you look at the truck, it would be like the back would be down a bit from the weight.
Yeah, it's just like barely scraping about. Yeah.
It's basically a fixed autocannon.
When you take it out of the truck, the song speeds up.
Okay, so things you need to know. Her driver's name is Monty, the pig-faced mutant. And he is only going to drive you to the edge of the desolation. Monty has no interest in driving. It turns out the ice cream truck is Monty's, not Tahna's. He's an employee of Tahna's, and has gotten her here and will get you to the edge of the desolation. It is mid-January, so it's quite cold. So one of the first things you'll do is, with your resources here at the Shire, because you would have been, starting early December, you would have been going to nearby places to trade. You'd probably have different garb. If we had action figures, this would be, Series 2 paint mask with overcloak action. So your new on model would be with more layers to it. The post-apocalyptic winters can be intense. It's almost like if you don't take proper care of the planet, the climate goes really wild and starts punishing the people on the planet.
Interesting. Weird.
Yeah. If you're reckless with the world,
I don't believe it.
The world is reckless back. At least in this science fiction fantasy.
The highest of fantasy. Got it.
Please tell me that Wynona has like a really pristine, like puffy down jacket. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
It's faux fur, but like Torg, it's multicolored fur.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't make sense for you to have this, so I'm just going to give it to you. There's a ability called Style. Just take it. Just give it to Wynona.
Wynona's got style, which we knew.
We already knew that.
Yeah, and
we'll make it official for her character.
Most characters have to cobble together their clothes and equipment from whatever you can find. You have a talent for selecting, mending, and customizing what you wear so it looks good. You also know how to wear it so you can carry it off. When you create the character style, you may choose menacing or engaging. I'm assuming engaging because it's Wynona.
Yes.
In social situations, menacing gives you a +1 die intimidate. Engaging gives you +1 die persuade.
Oh,
So,
I love it.
Because you are a stylish fox lady, you are more persuasive inherently. So just go ahead and we're going to add that to your advances because it doesn't make sense for you not to have them. All right. So the group has headed out. The other thing that the captain knows is you're going to start your search in some place called the Warrens, one of the few fixed locations in the southwestern Desolation. As we talked about the last time this group adventured into the Desolation, it's almost entirely nomadic because what created the Desolation is so much nuclear and post-nuclear and storm-created devastation that everything was turned into a fine red powder, which isn't really sand. It's kind of like grit. It's a little, what's the, in the real world, there's, I think it's sand that comes from, does it go from Egypt and it comes literally overseas and comes to the US every year?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like the migration of birds. They only finally, fairly recently discovered, oh shit, this stuff is from Egypt. So kind of like that, this, isn't really sand, but acts like sand and is like destroyed buildings and dead people. And so it's a more macabre version of man-made desert. So in that, there's very few fixed points because it's somewhat pulverized, but a few particular places. The Warrens were actually an underground mall, so the strikes didn't devastate it the same way. So it's a place to start the search. The only problem is the piggy guy is not going to go into the Desolation with his truck. He tells you, even if I was willing and even if you could afford it, my baby here isn't going to make it 300 yards into that sand. It's going to choke the engine. It's going to die. And then you have one car that's not in great shape. And you know from experience that it kept dying and without B, remember, to like climb over and keep fixing it.
Yeah, she had to fix it a bunch.
So there's no people involved, and Tahna is not a replacement for B. And that you probably at some point ask her, "Are you a mechanic?" And I'm sure not a ton of responses.
No.
Negatory. So you will
I'm
actually
a delegator.
you're gonna be walking. So you're looking at maybe 2 weeks to reach Lawrence. So it's a brutal journey. On the other hand, autocannon. All right. Is there during your 3-day trip to the edge of the Desolation? I'll tell you what, everybody roll a d12 for me. If you don't have it, does everybody have a d12? Because I realized the game.
Oh, I didn't bring one up here since we use D6 all the time.
Now,
Let
what's
me
a
go
D12?
grab-
I've never heard of that.
Do you?
I'm gonna go grab mine real quick.
You're a terrible here. Just
I
roll.
am.
Just roll 3d6. The system and for watchers, listeners, it uses entirely d6s. That was dirty pool asking for a d12.
Yeah, it was. Man.
And poor Barrett probably rolled something really good in the d12.
No.
Damn it.
So I
so-
need to know the two people that roll the closest on the 3d6.
I got a 9.
I got a 5, but I rolled well on the D12, so now I'm angry.
Well, there's no well because you're just looking for the two closest players.
What are we doing now if we're not doing a D12? What did you say?
3d6, add them together, and we're just looking for the two closest results.
Ooh.
So
I
we
got a
got
6.
6,
Yeah.
5,
14.
14.
Yeah.
I think it's the 6 and the 4, yeah?
6 and 5.
6 and
Thomas
5.
is 5.
6 and 5. Let's
We're
just,
gonna get
let's just
first.
call it there. Tahna and so during the trip, Tahna and Goldwater end up being the two characters that end up fairly often spending time. So how would that time, what kind of conversations do you think? Can you potentially put them 2 up for me, Colt? Goldwater?
Me.
To me. So, okay, so improv challenge wise,
Uh,
your two characters are on you're in a ice cream truck and you're heading towards the point where you're gonna enter the Desolation. It's a post-apocalyptic wasteland, but you have to converse to pass the time. What would that conversation be like?
what do I know about like the post-apocalyptic IRS?
There isn't one.
Yeah, okay. So what's this whole deal? You've hard committed to the costume, and honestly, we just came from the Ren Fair. So like, is this like a kink? What are we doing here?
It's not a costume. I'm part of an official force of IRS special agents and agents that travel the world attempting to restore some order through enforcing tax law.
Okay, are we gonna have a problem? Because I think I used the word pirate fairly liberally, and I'm afraid that we're gonna have a conflict of interest by the end of this.
I am choosing, especially at this moment, to look at the fact that there was a theft. And theft cannot be abided. Whereas piracy, depending on who the pirate is, what their actions are, and where the funds that are gathered through the piracy are distributed or not distributed. Additionally, you did sign a document saying that that says that you are now no longer a pirate in my eyes, but a privateer of the United States government.
Honestly, that works really well for me. Okay.
And it works well for me too, because I do want to legitimize what you're doing and give you the option to move away from criminal piracy to the type of piracy that assists everyone, including yourself.
Okay, you got me back in there. I was almost out. I was gonna tuck and roll from, the side door, but all right.
What's it like being a privateer in the Desolation? My experience here was fairly rough.
It's, to be honest, fairly rough. It's not a life for a lot of people. And the ones that can stay and build something for themselves, even if it's fleeting, I don't know. I can't imagine a world with more rules. And I don't mean that, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a way to denigrate your love of paperwork and code.
No, I think we're talking about different types of rules.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's nice to know that you can create a life for yourself and the people that you care about, thought you cared about, no longer care about, with just your wiles and a good wind.
Couldn't you do the same outside of the Desolation?
I mean, yeah, but you could also like harangue people for money without wearing a tie.
I don't think you can.
Okay, give me the whole screen back. So during the journey, it ends up, ironically, that Captain Tahna and Ira, Special Agent Goldwater, discover they have a fair amount in common. So an area that might have been tension ends up, they almost, to the rest of the group, looks like they're kind of striking up almost a friendship based on that that commonality. 3 days later, I can never do the SpongeBob voice. 3 days later, you're going to arrive at the edge of Desolation. There's a small settlement called Edgewater. Edgewater is the remains of a strip mall. There's a bar there called Big Hat, which was built into an old Arby's. So the sign out front is a Big Hat. It's a good place to stop. They've got basically a garage there for people that are going to try to take a vehicle in there. They make a lot of money because things break down generally, and Tahna would know this, and the group would know this from stories that their friend told them. People that want to go try to find, they get to thinking, they go, the Desolation is dangerous. People don't want to go there. So that means there's lots of good stuff that people haven't yoinked yet. And then they get enough bolts together to get the vehicle to go out. They go out, the thing breaks down. They limp back and go, well, that was tough. Never mind. So there's a lot of Edgewater deals with a lot of those kind of poser. I realized this week that the term for people in the Desolation, because we were struggling a bit, because waster does not apply to the Desolation. Waster is people in the land that's more traditionally post-apocalyptic, broken buildings and shattered highways. Desolation is fucking nothing. They're actually called Sanders. So, because that makes sense, and I like Bernie Sanders.
I love it.
The group, I'm assuming, is going to go to Big Hat before they say goodbye to the driver and the van, and gear up and head out. Yes. All right. So the group of you, of 6 of you, head into Big Hat, and it's about a dozen people in there. There's room for more, certainly, but again, think of it as being a converted fast food place. So picture that kind of density. And instead of the counter being the counter where the kitchen, they've set it up to be a bar. So that's what the bar looks like. And they have some power here, but they literally use people they pay to run a generator on a bike. So it's got like naked bulbs and the power that kind of does that, because there's somebody back there. It's like, come on, Greg, pick it up. And so it's that kind of a vibe to it. And I need Navad to make a notice check, please.
I muted myself because I was laughing too hard. Hold on, sorry. I dropped it. I got 4 dice for my notice, and I got a 6. I got 2 6s.
Okay. So also let me have a roll from Goldwater, notice, and Tahna, notice.
Success. 2 successes, actually.
1-5.
Okay. So Tahna, it's probably, okay, so it's going to come down. Goldwater, you spot a guy here that you recognize. You don't exactly remember where. So at the point you've been talking about eventually getting the recall advance, you think, like, given how Goldwater is, I would assume he's got a book on having like mega memory and has been like studying like mind palaces and mega memory and
What,
speed reading techniques.
seven tricks to unlock your memory, like brain exercises, the whole thing. Yeah, I love it.
But you're pretty sure you recognize someone, but you can't quite place from where. Nevad, someone recognizes Tana and seems really nervous about the fact that she's here.
I pick up on someone recognizing Tahna.
It's not the same person. The whole Goldwater thing is separate.
Goldwater is separate, but I pick up on the fact that somebody recognizes her.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
So you
What
guys
is this?
eat. Somebody comes over. He's got insect antennas. We basically have expensive shit, but it's not poisonous. I can bring you anything you want, but I will overcharge you. We are at the edge of nothing. So last chance coffee. What will you have?
Torg appreciate honesty.
I find everything else leads to fights and misunderstanding.
Torg not agree with high price, but again,
I have
Torg respect.
bush bug with spice and toilet wine.
I'll take the bush bug with spice, please.
So you order.
Toilet
Nevad,
wine!
Nevad, do you track this person?
Yeah. So the person talking to us, is that who?
No. It's the person.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on the. What does this person look like? Who?
He's a big fella who has 2 extra eyes, so his eyes go down his face, almost
Kind of stacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very spider-like.
Okay.
But he's sort of a chonk. Like telling him to like quickly put on a fireman's suit would be like the equal of an entire full-length comedy. You know, just that, and watching him try to do that in a hurry would be hilarious. He's got that kind of physicality to him. And he's also clearly trying to find a way or a time to slip out and get away from her. But he hasn't moved yet.
Okay.
Goldwater. So you placed your orders. Goldwater, are you going to do anything?
Yeah, after I get my drink, I'm going to walk. I just walk straight up to the person.
Ah! Oh, hello.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Is it?
No.
I thought not.
I
had a chance to look over any of the documents I gave you.
I have it. And he pulls a folded wad of paper out of a breast pocket. And he's actually got a little, like an Altoids tin.
Mm-hmm.
He opens it up. And this is for Tahna, because you're playing a character, you're a person. Aabria. In this setting, money is volts, is batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So the voltage of the battery is what it's worth. And the most worthwhile things tend to be like C cells or hearing aid batteries because they're so small. And he's got a little Altoids tin full of little hearing aid batteries. And he passes you the tin of batteries and the paper. I didn't know where to reach you. You had assessed, and he points to the paper, a 200-volt penalty. So at this point, you remember the guy's name is Pim, and he's a merchant, and he was not giving in anything to anyone or benefiting anyone in any way. So you assessed a 200-volt penalty.
Pim, what are you doing here?
Looking for you.
Please don't waste my time.
Running away from you.
Were you?
Insight check.
Okay. Where? Oh, insights. Oh man, I'm good at this.
Yeah, you're trained.
3 successes.
Yes, the second one is true.
Well, I found you.
Yes, and I did set the money aside. I was running because I had hoped to use it on a horse.
Well,
but I didn't. It's all there.
Is it all in the tin?
It's all in the tin. Count it.
Okay, I'll start slowly counting it while I stare at him.
We're gonna go to the other thing because he's
I
gonna.
want some clarity. Did he say he was going to spend it on a horse or on whores?
I like that there is not clarity.
Perfect. That's great. I think we'll let. Yes.
I'm actually gonna post that the meme. Why not both?
Los dos.
Yeah. So Navad, how do you react?
So I'm keeping an eye on this guy. But is he moving?
He's about to get up. He's clearly trying to find a time where he can get away. And it happened that you were faced the right way and Tahna was faced the wrong way, which is why she hasn't seen him and you have.
Okay.
And probably pretty soon, either Torg or Wynona is going to also see this because they're facing the proper way. But Tahna probably won't. So if something is not done, the guy will probably be able to sneak off.
I'm going to walk towards him and kind of cut him off, and maybe who's closest to me of the party?
It would be Wynona.
Okay, I'm gonna tap Wynona and just be like, "Hey, come here, come with me." This guy, and like that's all I'm gonna kind of say. Of like, I'm gonna and just like kind of veer into his space.
So you discover that his eyes work like certain lizards, and each of the 6 can track someone independently.
Oh.
So one of the eyes is tracking you, one's tracking like different things in the room. His eyes just go all which way.
Like chameleon, those articulated.
But all 6 separately.
Okay.
So he sees you for sure. You think sneaking up on this guy would be a nightmare?
Yeah, for sure. I want to be seen. I want to kind of like loom into his space.
So can you now? I know a bit about you, Shannon. I know you're experienced as an improviser. So can you give me what a loom would feel like from the VOD?
A loom from Navad, but it's going to be non-verbal. I'm sitting in a chair.
Yeah. No, I know, but like, what does that look like? Like, I know when I loom, I'm a 6'2", fairly intense looking dude. Navad is not that.
No, he's tall, but he's not intimidating.
Right. You said he's very like stick wide.
Okay. Let me see how well I can pull this off. In a chair.
Sure.
Something like that.
A couple of his eyes focus on you that weren't focused before.
Okay.
And he sees you walking up with Wynona. And he puts his palms on the table in front of him, palms up to show they're empty.
Hello, friend.
It would be great if I could pay you to allow me to just go to the bathroom. What would that kind of service cost, do you think? I just want to go to the bathroom. Now.
What's in the bathroom, friend?
The bathroom is outside of this room. And it's away from here, friend. 100 volts for a bathroom break, do you think?
I'm new to these parts. What about you, Wynona? What do you think we should do?
Well, first I must just say that your eyes, fantastic. I'm very impressed by your ocular movement, and I haven't seen that in person just yet. So congrats. However, we're wondering if you could just like take like five minutes not to go to the bathroom and just have a conversation with us, just the 3 of us.
Okay, but your massive friend who looks like a troll but is not a troll is starting to notice us, and I'm not sure if they're he or she, but what I do know is I'm very nervous about finding out.
Oh, well, I mean, Torg is Torg. Hey, Captain Tahna, how much
He literally says, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw the flag and just be like, Captain Tahna, how much does it cost to go to the bathroom here? Is 100 volts a good price? This guy's asking a question.
What would that even mean as I turn around?
So I'm going to start your karma as good karma. And for Aabria, the karma can be good or bad. It's binary. And when anybody in the party can invoke good karma to either do a reroll or you can call for a minor plot twist. Like, is there a car coming? Well, no, there isn't. The roll says no. Well, I invoke good karma. When you invoke good karma, it becomes bad. Bad karma is entirely in my control, which causes forced rerolls and terrible things to happen. But when I use it, it flips back. The other thing that can flip it is good role playing. And there's a couple of fairly rare kind of funky talents. One called catchphrase that can flip it back. So like if you have catchphrase and you can actually effectively use your catchphrase, you can turn bad karma into good. So that's what that is. So it's going to start there because I like the way Shannon dropped the bomb. Dropping the bomb is very important.
I want Tahna to notice that this guy is like flipping out that she's here.
So you know him. You absolutely know him. His name is Wild Phil. Wild Phil is an old member of your crew. He went along with Pike, was part of the mutiny, but your sense, again, you're very good, the leadership and like knowing your crew and leading is your thing. You think Phil was borderline. Like, it's still wrong that he mutinied, but you have a funny feeling because you know Phil, that it wasn't until a certain number of them went along with Pike that they could put enough pressure on Phil to flip.
Yeah. Sweet.
So he's not on your like disembowel list, but it's certainly not like a delight to see that he's here. And when he sees you, he gets terrified.
I think her grin is super wide, showing off those like grill fangs, and the little washer that she's been like playing with. She flips it in the air and just bites it, and like snaps it in half.
Whoa! Tahna's got grill fangs.
Yeah,
like the Gravediggers, like the Rizzo.
Yeah, it's like full Killmonger on the top and then the bottom, so it's just a slightly feral.
One of the reasons, and you didn't know it until now, is she can actually eat metal.
Yeah.
So she flips the tag, and
so I flips it up and just bites it out of the air, and like it gets bitten in half.
Wynona, he has urinated. I'm just going to put that out there simply. I think it would offend your senses the most. Captain, so good to see you.
Isn't it? Why don't you come and take a seat, Wild Phil? It's so good to see you.
I see you haven't gone black. I guess that's good news.
For now. And I think the shadows are starting to like turn a little bit, and she's working really hard to like keep her face out of shadow to like attempt to have a poker face, because like this does blow up her her poker face like all the time. So she's like,
do an insight check for me.
Lean into the sun so they don't know that you want to kill him.
Right.
Do we notice this by this point that like there's like a shadow accumulation?
Yeah, I think you'd start to notice.
Okay.
One success.
Okay. So his fear is the kind of fear you have about, it's not like I'm afraid my friend caught me. It's like my friend is Candyman. It's like a mythologized kind of fear.
Mm.
And he leans in and he says, you know why I said that? Do you know what they say about you?
Me? No. Why don't you enlighten me?
They call you the black spot. And if someone sees the black spot, they will die.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. And she just starts cracking up way too loud.
He looks baffled by that.
Yeah. Take a seat. Phil.
He is seated, so he stands slightly and reseats himself.
Yeah.
His best shot at obeying. All right.
So, everyone, This is one of my mutinous crew, Wild Phil.
Ahoy.
Torg says, "Hi, Phil. Hey, anyone notice that it get weirdly colder just now? I feel like it just got like 5 degrees cooler and darker in here."
So it's not just me. And the eyes are now tracking each of you. Does the party... No, Goldwater's busy counting batteries. Do the rest of you go up and sit with Wild Phil and the captain? That's a new show on NBC this fall, by the way.
Wild Phil and the captain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Torg does. Torg immediately just like invites themselves.
Okay. Nevada and Wynona were already there.
Yeah, we're kind of like. I feel like we'd probably let. This looks like a Tahna and Phil sit down, and we're kind of like looming around the, or like maybe we sit too. I think Nevada is like more like he's into this looming thing, so he's not gonna sit.
Do your looming face again.
Yeah, one more time. Tahna's gonna give you a little like, this is good. Yes.
I look. Thanks, Colt. You threw it up there for like 2 seconds. I'm beautiful.
Torg just assumed that Torg, welcome everywhere. And so Torg just, treats Torg self to a friendly chat and sits down and is like, so Phil, why you betray Captain here? Captain seemed like cool captain. In a very chummy, friendly Torg way.
His response to Torg is he looks ashamed of himself. She's the best captain I ever sailed with.
Torg can tell when people lie, and Torg, no, you not lie. So why betray?
And he actually, 2 of his eyes start tearing up. This one and this one. I fought against it, but this is hard. So he sits back and looks at the rest of you. The captain sometimes wasn't always present. And when she wasn't present, she wasn't a very good captain at all. And despite that, I told the others, stick with her, because we've gone on the very best hunts. We've kidnapped and killed the very ripest innocents. We've harvested the very best salvage, all under the captain's watch.
Torg say, whoa. You slaughter innocent, you say?
No, they were guilty of terrible crimes.
Always.
We checked the register.
Okay,
but
Torg,
so
just make sure Torg hear you right.
They were angry, particularly her first mate, Pike. And Pike said Pike would make a better captain. And I wouldn't have gone along, but more than half, they went with Pike. And if it came down to it, I'm a cook. I'm not even very good with a crossbow. I could have. My duty was to die, and maybe I should have.
Tahna's gonna reach out and actually like cover her hand, or cover his hand with hers. And I think that like that extra dark shadowing is actually starting to abate a little bit. Okay. And she just sort of pats him on the hands. Doesn't say anything.
He smiles a little. It became obvious pretty quick that he was no captain. There are people what can give orders, and people will listen because they know the orders given are good. And there are people that just give orders. And so some people end up in positions of power that aren't leaders. Huh. They do untold damage to the people following them. And there's sometimes nothing you can do. So as soon as I could, I moved to Canada. No, so as soon as I could, I got off the ship because I wasn't with a proper captain anymore, and now 3 of his eyes are going. And I've not been a pirate really for a while. I'm night shift cook here. It's mostly spice squish beetle. It's not even good cook work. But at least I can walk out onto the sand at night. I miss it.
Phil, look, I don't know what I was expecting when I saw you, but you've always been true to your word, better than it. And I could have been a better captain to you in those moments of absentia.
Torg, while hearing that, starts choking up and like holding back tears. And Torg is just going, so lovely, family, reconnect. Is like snot, like trying to sneak the snot back up into their nose.
Phil, I'm gonna go get the fuck off back.
Yeah?
And I'm gonna come back for you.
I'd gladly sail with you again, Captain. And I'll sail
And
with
then
no other.
At hearing that, Torg just goes, oh, and grabs both of them and like does like a huge hug.
Is this person on your new crew?
Oh my God, for now. Oh.
So Goldwater, it adds up. He actually paid his fine.
Well, Pim, I didn't expect you to actually do it.
You seemed pretty convinced it had to be done. So you have, I'm counting 4 guns, and you seem, I think the word obsessive might be an insult. So a very professional drive? What's that?
That sounds great. Where are you off to now?
Well, now that I'm not running from you, probably back inland to one of the major trading hubs and I'm a merchant, try to find something, buy low, sell high.
Sounds good. Just make sure you pay your taxes, Pim.
So, but you told me as long as I spend part of what I earn to build the community, that would be all right?
Yes.
So if I take some of what I earn and I give it to someone worthwhile, or like an orphanage, or give it to a poor guy?
Those would all be acceptable. Ideally, you'd give it to the local municipality and have them distribute the funds as best they see fit, where the need is.
For there to be a municipality, you're going to have to get rid of the angels and the cathedrals. Anything big enough to be a municipality, the Skyfire comes down and they're done.
Pim, there are short-term goals and there are long-term goals, okay?
Right. I'm totally willing to pay my fair share and pull my weight.
Excellent. And tell the others that whatever town or settlement you go to, that the IRS is out there and we will be visiting and we will be distributing paperwork. You understand?
I absolutely do, yes.
Pim, how would you like to be a contractor for the IRS?
I would like nothing to do with the IRS for the rest of my life.
Well, too bad, Pim. Good luck out there. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
All right, that'll be lovely. He gets up. Can I have this to go? All right, so I'm going to take that unless anyone else has business. You say goodbye to Phil. He will take you aside, and he will ask you, so is it any better? I mean, people started to ask if I cooked extra for you, but I just started picking up cans for you.
We all have our personal crosses to bear, and I'm working on mine.
So, still fighting the dragon then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm staying out back, and I've actually got. You must have still been in my mind. I've got a rucksack. You know that thing that squishes the cans down to make them easier to carry?
Yeah.
I've got a rucksack full of them. I remember you liked them as snacks, like chips.
And she's like gonna like look around and then just give him a hug. Thank
All
you.
right, so when the party meets up the next morning,
Yeah.
she's got a new rucksack that makes a little bit of a metal sound when she walks. I don't think you'd explain that, would you?
Nope.
Okay. So mysteriously has a noisy metal containing rucksack.
This is completely normal.
Do you find a way to give some money to Meth Head McGee? Pay her for the drugs?
Oh, I forgot to pay her. If I can get away with it, I'm not going to pay her.
So she has seen enough of what's going on that she'd work up her courage to, if she sees you again, maybe ask. But there's no way she's going to roll up at you, given everything that's going on. And like, oh, and that was back there too. That she'd be like, "Hey, your friends are all the people that run this place. Can I have like $15 in my hand?
Excuse me, I'm unloading an autocannon. What was your question?
Exactly. So she's just smart enough to figure, let's not even play that game, and she lets it roll. Okay, cool. Your group heads off into the Desolation. So the Desolation is desolate. You're not in a car this time, so you're on foot, and you are, because it's cold, and if you had experience with deserts in the real world or read anything about deserts, you know they get even colder than normal places. There's something about there's no baffles. My only experience with it was in Chicago. The whole reason for the Windy City is there's areas where the winds accelerate and it drops the temperature horrifically, almost dangerously. And that's why. So when you're out in the Desolation, you will very quickly discover, despite the fact that it looks like sand, you think, oh, sand, warm. Like, no, this is worse. This is terrible. So you've got your layers and layers of insulation, and you head out across. Who has the highest landlore skill?
That's either Wynona or Tahna.
My landlord's pretty high. Hold
Oh,
on.
is it?
Yeah.
So we can just put up numbers.
I'm
Shannon was
terrible.
doing that.
I gotta
It's
look
really
it up.
easy to see it on the feed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Also, very
7.
Nice.
Torg, that rules. So go ahead and roll your landlord dice. And you can get a bonus die because you're doing this together. And
Ooh. Okay.
rules thing. Every time you're assisting somebody, kind of like in D&D, you get advantage when you're working together. In this system, you get a die.
Nice.
So this is your frosty desert still suits fastened correctly. They are. And ironically, not ironically, but maybe surprisingly, one of the people checking them is Torg. Like Torg would go around and like, well, this could be better. You need another layer here. And the other thing is, now that you're actually into the core of the adventure and out in the Desolation, Captain Tahna is literally a leader. One of her archetypes is leader. Do you get to the point where you feel comfortable actually leading, do you think?
Yeah. I'm happy to lead the group, but I definitely want to hand off that lead ability to Torg, especially once I see them sort of stepping up and feeling very like comfortable and confident.
So the way her ability works is, as long as Torg is willing to follow, when Captain's like, to your left, or do this, you get an extra die, not extra die, but one on your tests. I won't even bother explaining it. They work better. So as long as you follow when she leads, you get an advantage. So would Torg listen? Yep. Okay, because she's indicated she has to pick somebody at all times when she's leading to be leading. And for now, it's you. So that I think also in terms of role playing, that will mean that Tahna will be spending time with Torg, as Torg, because the High Landlord is effectively doing the thing that your guide was doing and leading you across the destination. And Tahna also knows a fair amount about being here because she lived here most of her life. All right, out across the desolation you go. On day 3, I need everybody independently to make a notice check. And Torg, this is not the kind of thing that deleting will help because she can't tell you notice something better. There's no way to give like leadership for that. Did anyone get a success?
I did.
Okay.
5.
Anybody that did, you think, and this is going to be around midday on the 3rd day. It's only lightly windy, very cold. There is something following you. So you're catching glimpses of something that might even be under the sand, just at the periphery. So a good enough hunter that knows to not be close enough to be seen. If Eric were here, he'd say, well, that's how snipers work too, man. So anybody who passed the roll notices something is stalking you.
Am I the only one seeing something?
Oh, Wynona. Torg, so glad you say that. Because Torg just about to say Torg have bad news. Because Torg pretty sure something following fam.
I sense it too.
Yep.
What is it?
Do I have any sense of what it could be?
There are actually a fair number of things that burrow in the desolation.
Sweet.
And if you could see it or in more details, Wynona also has that ability to just know creatures, especially if you can see them. But there's not enough from just a burrower to go, oh, it's X. There's lots of things that burrow.
Tahna goes on for like 5 minutes on the list of all the things it could be.
Okay. So you got.
I'm guessing they're all nasty.
Cajun shrimp, and you have
Yeah.
your fried shrimp.
Just full Bubba.
Okay. At this point,
Are they all nasty though?
Oh yeah, none of them are great. Well, 2 of them are delicious. None of them great.
Okay.
So at this point, that whatever it is stops moving and starts moving directly towards you. So you can all see that there is something is under the sand, and it's making a crest as it moves, and that crest is moving towards you. Colt, you have the Jaws music queued up, right? Because we can afford the money for that, right? Right, Shannon?
No, we cannot.
Okay, all right, fine.
We have not licensed any John Williams tracks.
If I remember the rules right, this is only like 1.5 seconds, which I think is cool. So I can go, dunna, dunna, and just that. All right. So what do you guys do?
Bot's not going to pick that up.
Good. It's at far range now, not distant. So our range system is close, which is like the battlefield, is near, or distant is, I'm saying it wrong. Far is over there, distance way over there. So it's coming towards you. Does anyone do anything?
I'm gonna ready my crossbow.
Okay.
Torg 100% just kind of gets ready to have to attack it.
Do you ready the cinder block? So the captain doesn't know. Torg has a cinder block tied to a stick. That's Torg's melee weapon. So are you using the cinder block on a stick, or do you have your crossbow out?
How far away is this thing?
It's 3rd range category, so it's over there.
A crossbow.
Okay, Wynona?
Just ready the crossbow.
So remember that time we all got grenades, or some of us had grenades?
Yeah, I think they were used.
I didn't use mine. I know for a fact.
Because I don't currently have updated stats, we're going to say they were used in adventure between sessions. We were Twitch broadcasting.
Gotcha.
Oh man. Was this when Wynona was the colonel?
Yes. Another effect of the fall is not only does it allow magic to happen, when the GM is editing the book that you're alpha testing in your live stream, sometimes the physics of certain weapons and tools just don't operate the same way. It's completely injust.
This grenade dissolved.
Yeah, it smells like artificial grape now. It's weird.
It
That
went bad.
Yeah.
In that case, since my grenade melted, I will get my pistol out.
Okay. And Goldwater?
Is it possible to have like binoculars or a telescope or a scope from a gun, from a rifle?
You do not yet.
Okay.
I will make that a priority the next time you're in a place. I'll make sure to mention it when you're in a place to trade.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be a wheedling player. Do I have one? Because I am a pirate.
I'm going to say that you had perfectly good binoculars and you snapped them in half because you're absolutely a genre fiend and you wanted to have a proper,
Yep.
so even though you could have had superior functioning binoculars, you have a monocular. You have an
I
ocular.
have two. That's twice as many oculars. And I push one into Goldwater's hands.
Oh, you see, that's fine. You save the other one in your bag. So
Yeah.
you have the other half of the binocular.
Yeah.
It's also been like whipped with leather, so it's got the grip on it. So it's it looks very piratey.
Yar.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll take a look at whatever it is.
Okay. So you begin to see little spiky things coming out of the top, like ridges, and it's man-sized but large. So like Torg size, and kind of swimming through the sand.
It's a spiky thing swimming through the sand about 7 feet high.
Okay, it gets to close. So it's now close ranges like the battlefield. So picture a parking lot, a basketball arena. It's things nearest to you. And it slows.
Question.
Yes.
The beast mastery skill, is that like, would that be able to be used to control said creature?
If you're really good at it with an animal, yes. It's like animal handling in D&D or in other games. That's
Right,
what
that's what I
Beastmastery is
thought.
for. It can also be used to identify, although Wynona's feet, the creature catalog, usually just doesn't even need a roll. She can see a thing if it's from the area she knows. So that doesn't work in areas that you're not active in. So if you went to a new place, maybe something weird. But areas like this she's been to, she'd go, oh, that's a wibwab. She would make a test to know a little more about it. But she have the real basics automatically because she knows those things. But as far as if it's a thing trying to like interact and control or train or whatever, those are beast mastery things. There is also a talent called Alpha that actually Wynona's working on to try to intimidate the leader of a group of beasts to become the new Alpha and just say, no. But that's something nobody in the group has yet.
This is my pack now.
Yep.
So here Torg out. Since this thing is burrowing underneath the sand, correct?
Yep.
Torg, being a master of beast, runs toward it and jumps on essentially its back with its legs
As you're
to
doing
try
that,
to control it.
as you're doing that, it pops up. Colt, do you have from last session the Ripper? So go ahead and find that while I explain. So a creature that most of you have seen. So it's a thing that's humanoid but immense and has sort of a creature from the Black Lagoon kind of like chitin scaling to it, has popped up out of the red sand and is confronting Torg. As soon as Colt has a picture, he's going to pop it up.
The thing whose babies we delivered last time, or the same kind of creature,
Right?
Correct.
whose babies we delivered.
Correct. So it pops up, and for a minute, I'm not going to make you make no roll for this because when it pops up, it sort of does like, so that's what the rippers look like. So it's one of those. So it pops up, and for a minute, it's like a boo scare at a haunted house. So it's got the, I'm going to jump up and jump on you and murder you. Clearly what it's designed to do. But when it sees that it's you, it doesn't jump. So it kind of goes.
And then Torg sees the Ripper, and Torg just goes, "How fam!"
So out of the sand around it come 6 little ones.
What?
Which are
It's
now
the
size,
same. It's the same one.
they're the size of piglets now. So picture one of those, but kind of like chonky and cute. It's like a cross between what I showed you and a piglet. And they were
Like
swimming.
a gremlin.
They were swimming next to Dad, and Dad, Mom, and they come up with it, and it's keeping its distance from Torg, even though clearly Torg's immediate response to anything positive is hug it. And it actually, the spikes kind of rise up in like a reflective, nah, we don't hug. But the little piglets hug.
Oh,
So the little sand ripper creatures all are like all over your legs.
Torg immediately starts going, "Torg, babies, Torg."
They're making little noises.
Oh my
And,
god.
and Torg's very excited. Torg starts gently picking up some of them and putting them on like a shoulder, one on Torg's head, and just letting them crawl all around like weird scaly puppies.
So I'm not sure if
And-
you have this experience because you're not 6'2". Those of us that are among giant kind, the way we babysit is they climb us like
Yes.
mountains.
Yeah.
My friend
Yeah.
Brett and I, we have the same experience like little, and I've been a teacher of little ones most of my life. And there's something Hagrid about me, and they do exactly that. The little ones just
Oh.
climb up.
Oh yes.
Yeah, totally.
My father was those
Same
people.
way.
So that's why I have a reference point.
One of my tribe. Nice.
Yeah, 100%. He was
No
hair
offense.
down to his butt,
It's
hippie
a
covered
tribe.
in tattoos, and like huge. So
Perfect. I'm actually going to call the bio break because we're going to stop with the image of Torg covered in baby rippers. We are back. Apparently on day 9, it looks like Torg has grown fangs.
Like you do.
A sandstorm kicks up. So I'm going to need everyone to make a endurance check for me.
Okay. Oh, I gotta get.
Oh, there we go.
I lost
Bless-
my character sheet.
Bless my heart for like being mentally incapable of seeing the saving throw section. Like, no, oh, I rolled badly. Can I use karma? Does karma do something? Please let karma do something.
Absolutely can use it to succeed.
woo!
So the captain has succeeded. Did anyone fail? Okay.
Oh no.
Goldwater
Goldwater
failed?
did.
Anyone that fails, you are down 1 injury until you can properly be treated by someone with medicine. So you can't do it like during, like, in D&D, you can't take rests when you can't rest. In this, you're down until you're at a place where you're not under attack. So you're down 1 injury until that can be remedied.
And even though Wynona can't do anything to help him out.
Not in the storm. So she
Okay.
needs a safe place where she can use her skills.
Gotcha.
And then she can take care of them. Because
Okay.
the way injuries work is they're only like 10 minutes to an hour and it goes away. This is technically a condition, and conditions have variable. It's like whatever caused it tells you how bad. It's like Eric's limp. The thing that triggered it tells you how it comes back. In this case, what caused it was the sandstorm. So just resting is not going to recover Goldwater. Like, he's both exhausted and probably inhaled some of the sand. Like, he's in rough shape. And the other thing about sandstorms is it's abrasive. And he's already told us how his skin is already sensitive, a little red because of his sunlight sensitivity. So my guess is it's probably peeled a little of the upper layer of his skin off.
Oy.
Yeah. So he, there was a lot of words to say he's owie.
As the sandstorm kicks up, I think Tana pulls out of her pack these two weird like panels with like multiple layers of mesh and a little container at the bottom. I want to start collecting the really thin silt. I meant to say this earlier, I totally forgot. Because she wants to mix it with like a little layer of fat just to make like kind of like a sand and
okay.
dirt and sunblock for the group
This stuff
after.
is
So
blowing. You want to pull down some.
yeah, and it's extra good to do that during a sandstorm. She can get a bigger batch of it and make some for the
Hey,
group.
I speak Eagle Scout, okay?
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and talk survival to me.
Yeah. I was also thinking of there's like a tribe in Africa that like uses like red clay and like puts it on their. So anyway, all of that.
But apocalypse. All right. So it subsides. So you continue on your way. Wynona, you discover you can't heal him. What you can do is give him kind of what Tahna's talking about. You can give him sort of a poultice to literally like clay to make his skin less sensitive. So you can make him a little less owie, but the injury won't go away. He needs to heal. So he needs to be out of the harsh elements. He needs it not to be, finger endangeringly cold. He needs that to heal.
As I'm treating him, I ask him if I'm going to be taxed on this service.
Jesus.
No, you're providing a service.
Nice. I assume that's sort of a through line that stuff just falls off of Goldwater.
What do you mean?
Well, is he, when someone jibes like that, is he willfully walling up and not letting him, trying to ignore it? Or does he not notice it?
Does he not notice it's a joke?
Right. So is he simply responding with like...
It's a case-by-case basis. Okay. I think in that case, he didn't realize it was a joke.
Okay. Because clearly once or twice it did
yes.
land.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I get it. You're fucking with me. But that one legitimately could be a question. And it's like, no, you're providing a service. Therefore, you're not going to be taxed for it. And if anything, you should be paid for it.
Later that day, everyone has to make an endurance check again. And I could say save, but they're all tests. The fact that it's a save doesn't make it function any differently.
Man, Nevada's rolling hot tonight. I got 2 6s.
Yes,
nice.
You know what I get from that, Nevada?
What?
You listened to Nomi.
Oh, she taught me things.
Right?
I like Nomi so much.
Yeah,
you wouldn't if you were around her.
You clearly would. So did you fail again, Goldwater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
Here's what you discover. You discover that in the sandstorm were tiny pests. Some of those pests got into Goldwater's wounds.
Ooh.
You're now down a second injury.
All right, let me roll it up here and see what happens.
No, don't roll it. Literally, This is just blocking out one. It's not the same as taking an injury. So, like, lose 1 and 2 for the time being.
Gotcha.
The condition,
you have to roll them randomly.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because what the condition is doing is lowering the number you have available for now. Okay, so Wynona, you're going to have to work with the group, and you've got a couple of tent half kind of things. You're going to have to strip and get all the tiny gnat things off your skin, out of your hair, out of your clothes. Like the fact that it was probably almost a good thing that Goldwater probably cried out from the wound, because they're all over you. All of you. But those of you that made your endurance save have not taken damage from them yet. But if you don't help each other essentially strip down and then use whatever Wynona can come up with, so you would want to use some form of like mild acidic anything just to clean yourselves.
I hate this so much.
So the next thing you discover is the creatures have gotten into all of the food and drink you're carrying and all of Wynona's organic supplies. So all the stuff you'd use to clean properly, it's turned colors and is leaking because the creatures have dug in And so the food is all gone. It's all gone terribly bad. And it's teeming. They've gone to tiny maggots where they've encountered things to eat in like 3 hours.
Ugh.
So because of that, the cleaning off is not as thorough as it could be, and it's going to take longer. So everyone needs to make another endurance save. Come on, you got this, Goldwater. I'm betting on you, buddy.
Can I lead him to be better at enduring? That doesn't make sense, but I need
no.
it.
Yes, you can, because you can direct him as he's doing the cleansing and everything.
Yeah.
And you could have other people like, okay, clean him first.
Yeah.
I think leadership absolutely could help here.
Oh, okay, cool. Shoot, I should have done it earlier. I apologize.
Well, no. The idea that it would catch on now and that she'd be like, okay, this is actually kind of the first opportunity for you to actually be taking the lead in a way that's substantive and makes some complete sense to me.
Okay.
So you get an extra die on that save, Goldwater.
I failed.
Me too.
Anybody that failed, you're down 1 injury for the time being.
Okay.
So anybody did you fail 3 times?
I got a 5. I know that doesn't matter though.
In this case, the partial, because in fact, that's your 3rd. I'm going to use that bad karma, and you're also down a wound.
All right. Woo!
Well,
for it.
That narratively speaks to me of a pretty serious infection, right? Like by the time you do your best, because you have no alcohol or anything.
Man, I got injured the last time we came through here, just walking around.
You're going to end up hating the damn Desolation.
I already do. This is the fucking worst.
And it's also like there's no taxes to be had out here.
That's true.
Well,
eventually.
All right. So the group, Wynona, you're the most aware of this. Like some of you have taken a little bit, like it's been rough. Thing 1, you're out of food. You're out of anything to drink. Thing 2, Goldwater's in rough shape. Like in combat now, he's in far more danger than the rest of you.
Can I talk to the captain? Listen, you're a straight shooter. I'm a crooked shooter sometimes, but today I'm going to be a straight shooter. I can be crooked when I'm talking about fashion stuff, but so as not to hurt people's feelings. Okay, long story short, we have no food, and I was wondering if you had any knowledge of where food can be. I can go 2 more days without food, but my friend Torg is constantly feeding, and I'm afraid that any longer than Torg might be in danger. Also, Lord Navad has had to strip down. I think he's self-conscious about some of his parts. So we really just need help in any way you can give us. Obviously, Goldwater has a severe infection.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Are we in a place where we can like hunker down for a little bit and take a break? Oh, cool.
It's the sand.
Awesome.
The problem here is stopping is tantamount to making it worse. So how about this? I can buy you a little bit of time. Give me whoever here is doing really well. We can go and try to hunt and find some provisions. But and then I think she pulls off and like siphons off what little bit of silt she's like been collecting the whole time.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the maggots actually, and smashes them down and uses them for the fat to suspend all of that in there.
Yep.
And just pushes like the grossest potion towards you. Like if you put this, it could hopefully block. He's a tender man.
He doesn't do well in the desert. He's proven himself in non-desert environments. But for some reason, this isn't his. It's not his forte. Yeah, it's like putting me in Walmart, right? We just you get that. Now. Thank you. Yeah, not a lot of people know about Walmart.
So
she's like hiding, like I was being polite, but okay.
So, are you going to take a hunting party, and if so, who is in it?
Yeah, I would suggest Torg. Lord Navad does magic. I'm not sure if that'll help with hunting.
So
I can stay back and take care of Goldwater.
you're going to want the foraging skill. So the people you send should have the foraging skill.
Oh, good idea.
Sweet. Okay. I'll take Torg.
I'm not great
You know
at
what?
it.
Why don't you go ahead and keep Navad for an assistant?
Yeah.
Where are y'all going? What's happening? Where are you going?
Oh God! Whoa! That is a haunting
going?
visage.
Can I come too?
When
Torg just
he's
goes,
talking,
"Oh,
two parts of
oh,
his
buddy."
top are kind of doing this.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they're really gross and like have like white and black spots on them. All right, I'm just gonna sit down for a minute, just 1 minute though, and then we're back. We're moving again.
So just the captain and Torg and Wynona will distract Goldwater and keep him from going out, or do you let him stagger out into the sand?
Well, if he sits on the sand, will he get more?
No, they came in with the storm.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're fine.
Yeah, I will lay my jacket so he can sit down for a second.
Look at his hole in my arm. Look at these holes in my arm.
I pluck a little maggot out of it. Just
God.
don't worry about that.
Look at that. Look at that. Can you do that? You can't do that. Only I can do that.
Who's got the highest forage roll?
4.
Okay, so Torg, roll with an extra die, but you're going to need 2 6s because it's the desolation.
I'm leading Torg now and advising them.
But because you're also with them, the same advantage would apply.
Okay, cool.
So
Never
you
mind
get
then.
the- Or the lead. Yeah.
And I'm not the boss of them.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I forgot the way that the lead works it does stack because it doesn't apply the same way. So you're good. So
Then I'm a bossy bitch again.
roll the 8 dice and let me know what you get. Trust us.
3 6s.
Yeah.
Devil time, baby.
We find an Applebee's.
Oh, that's
Keep
the
going.
devil's work.
Keep
That
going.
is 100% 3
So-
6s.
You find these little fleshy stalks, which from a distance looks like what are the things in swamps? The cat. They look reeds, yeah, but coming up out of the sand. And when you get closer, they're not reeds; they're actually fleshy. And
They're Slim Jims. We find Slim Jims.
they're actually not. It turns out what they are is they are gathering tendrils for a big fat worm-like creature underneath the surface. And when any moisture comes in, it collects on those fleshy stalks, and it sits there collecting moisture and getting bigger. So you know to take a trowel and dig down, and there's a big meaty lump down there that is edible and moist.
I eat metal, so this is not going to bother me.
True. Yeah, you got cupcakes, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Torg love juicy. Torg fine with wet.
So Torg comes back to the group with the captain, holding. So picture a waterbed made of like the skin of a creepy uncle, covered in fleshy tendrils about 2 feet long, dripping with like the kind of goop that gathers underneath the soft drink machine, you know, where it's all those things at once. It's just dripping the trade juice.
Suicide?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what's up.
That's what my kids called it too.
Yep.
So you're carrying waterbag Uncle Frank dribbling suicide on you.
I gouged out my mind's eye the moment you started talking, so I don't imagine anything.
It's just
Nothing.
a black. There's just nothing there.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Just file redacted.
like the invisible tardigrade.
Yeah.
All right, so it's you know what that is, Wynona? That's a pit blob,
Yeah, pit blob.
and you know they're edible, but they taste terrible and they give you the shits.
Okay. Torg, you can eat some of this. You can't eat all of it though, or too much of it. Just eat until your tum-tum says, I'm 20% satisfied. Okay?
Torg does not to be talked to like child. Torg understand. Torg also know that right now, Goldwater, little more need than Torg.
Right.
Torg willing to allow Torg want water of gold to refill thyself, and then Torg.
Right. But Torg, we need you to eat to keep your strength up. But I don't want you to eat too much just because it'll cause your stomach to expel a lot of waste. So
Torg understand clarification now.
Yes, I know there's enough for all of us. That's not my concern. I just need you strong. Goldwater, you hungry? You're hungry, pal? You wanna eat something, bud?
I'll eat. I can eat. What are we having?
Good-ish. It's not poisonous. It's not going to kill you.
I'll take it.
All right.
If anyone seems hesitant, I will subtly bring out the couple pills of piggy that I have. Like, if you need some incentive,
might help Goldwater.
Yeah.
Sick, when he starts eating a little, it's going to be hard for him to have. I actually kind of dig the idea of using it as a medicine.
Yeah.
The only problem is there's going to be a point where he's going to want more and more, and you have to tell him to cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Torg for that.
So do you explain this to him, or do you just give it as medicine?
I would never do it without his permission. So I'm going to explain it to him, and if he seems reticent, I'm going to ask Wynona to drug him.
You must be a pirate.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, buddy. So I have this little pill. Makes food taste amazing. And that's going to come in very handy in the next 20 minutes.
Because what they're bringing me to eat is going to be disgusting.
It's honestly horrifying, yeah.
And I won't be able to choke it down?
Probably not, no.
Want to see me try?
Honestly, yes. Yes, I do.
I've been through a lot, and I put myself through more. I will choke this down, and I will be better.
Willpower save, please.
Well, I failed all my other fucking saves.
No, buddy.
This is the one you got. You're just gonna ace this, absolutely.
It's the same number of die. Let's see what happens. No.
So he tries.
Wait, karma! Give me that karma! Give me that karma for a stupid thing.
So the GM Satan in me loves the fact that you're giving me back dark karma to eat your lunch.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll take it.
I will, yes, give me karma so I can just eat in peace.
I can prove everybody wrong. I can eat this garbage.
There is a place in Chicago that has burritos the size of footballs.
Ooh,
and there was a guy I got into an eating contest with. And we baited each other until we both were counting bites. And it was, put your manhood on the table, eat the burrito. And the way I like to think of it is I won by losing because I made the choice, like in Dune, to be a human. Because there was a point where he deep-throated the burrito to take a bigger bite and was weeping. And in my mind, I went, okay, I lose. And I'm completely fine with that. Because, I had my hand in the box with the pain. I'm like, fuck this. Just stab me. I think those tears are streaming from Goldwater's face. So this is rubbery, like uncooked calamari, but it doesn't taste quite as good. So it's a little like if you made beef jerky out of like whitefish and gave it kind of like a turned cheese kind of a smell. So you can chew it, but he's eating it and you're having to put something in his nose and he gets through it. So you don't have to take drugs to have dinner. So that's the message, kids.
After Goldwater does that, Wynona does a slow clap.
I join in.
All join in.
Yeah.
I can't be stopped. Ah!
Yeah.
So I am going to do the part of me that wants to be a director sees this as being a cut and a crossfade, because the next thing that happens in the story is a blue snowstorm where the snow that comes down is actually blue, and you actually have to take what tent parts you have. When you pack for leaving, you would definitely know enough now to have had a tent half with you. So you put them together and basically make kind of a bubble. It'd be a standard sander survival technique where you go a little bit under the sand and you're real close to each other because there's no helping it. But you make a thing on top, you let the sand do what it's going to do, and you're warm in your bubble. So you have a bunch of tarps on you, and you're all in like a little hump. And at this point, if those of you who were not super careful about how much you ate, begin to feel the negative consequences of like gas station sushi. And I think the cut that I imagined was Goldwater, as much aside of the group as he can, yelling with the same voice, "I can't be stopped!"
Ah!
So Goldwater is gone pale because, you know, part of that is you're purging all of that shit out of your system, literally. You, sir, are down one more point of injury.
Okay. Woof.
Captain Tahna, literally, you can eat cans. Do you just eat your muffins?
Yeah, it's not that like it's particularly delicious, but she
No?
is trying to like conserve all of that stuff for them. So
Yeah, so you're not going to eat big, rubbery, terrible.
no, not even a little
monster?
bit. That's wild. Why would anyone do that?
Okay, well,
She just keeps trying to push drugs. Like, please take drugs. Take drugs. Make this worth it at all.
So this is where we notice that Tahna is eating.
Oh, she's chowing down
Yeah.
on cans.
On cans, which was what was in the bag, right?
Yep.
She's pulling them out like cookies and just eating them.
Just
Like a bag of
slowly.
Oreos.
Yeah.
Like a
She
sleeve.
offers one. Like, I don't know. Do you eat?
It's only polite, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
rude. No, okay, that's fine. More for me. They don't.
You dare me to eat it?
No.
I can't be
Do you
stopped.
think I can't?
Oh,
This
God.
sweet boy.
Oh my god.
I think he's gonna
So-
die of dirt.
You spend an entire day in this bubble. On the second day, you realize that it's getting heavy as there's accumulation on top and the storm hasn't stopped. So this means if you don't try to keep going, eventually you'll effectively be crushed by the weight of the accumulating snow.
Is Goldwater okay to walk and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's really the secondary effects of his condition would be things like he's already role playing, but as far as like limitations to his abilities, that really hasn't happened. The biggest problem is if he's injured again, it could be very serious very fast. Like he's effectively frail right now in game terms, but everything else is like I'd give more prompts, but again, it's like apparently Barrett has improv somewhere. So he's just taking it where I would prompt anyway, which is great.
I don't mean to infantilize you, but would you be comfortable with us literally swaddling you in cloth and either leading you with a leash or maybe Torg would carry you? You're not doing great, buddy.
I did have maggots coming out of my arms, so I figure any survival technique that would be most appropriate, I would not say no to. Only an idiot would push themselves to the point of death because of ego.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great.
So will the group dig themselves out of your little protective snow bubble and try to keep moving?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
The only
And I'm
problem is you can't see the sun or stars, and you're in a storm. So you're not really sure which way you're going.
What color of blue is it? Like how blue we talking? Like
Pretty
is it a
bright.
powder blue? Is it like a royal blue?
A reasonably intense blue. I don't have a good. Is that cerulean?
Say it's spice blue. We're playing Dune today.
It is.
Ooh, I
spice-
love it.
There are dunes. How could it not be spice blue?
Okay, perfect. That's great. Okay, love it.
So, given that you have a Torg, you're able to dig out. The group is now probably led by Torg, not leadership-wise, but physically, because I imagine Torg would be wading through, because it's like 4 or 5 feet high in places. So you'd have to use Torg like a cutter ship to just get through and keep moving. So I assume the keeping moving is to A, make sure you don't get crushed by snow, and B, to just physically keep moving, because Wynona, being now an official doctor, thank you, B, would know if you're not moving, you will not be warm, and it'll be a lot easier to freeze. So part of, ironically, the goal of moving is just to move. So is there any addition to that, or is that basically like just keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice like all of my like scarves and cool like nomadic scraps of cloth and just bundle up Goldwater. And I think if since Torg is leading physically, I don't want to like add to their burden. So I think I've just got like hooked arms with Goldwater if he allows it,
Helping
and
him along.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will assume that'll be your leadership as well, because you'll be able to boost his rolls that way.
Cool. Like I got you, buddy. Tell me more about tax code.
Wow, that's 200 points for the good place right there.
Gotta keep him happy.
Gonna earn those points. Wynona, were you saying something?
Oh, I was just asking if we could smell anything or see any type of footprints. I know there's a storm, but is there any other indication?
I'll assume you'd be watching for footprints, because in the snow they'll be really easy to see, but would vanish quickly. In the cold, it's really hard to smell. Like there's something that does to scent, like that sense. If you had boosted senses, which I don't think you do, it could maybe.
I have enhanced smell.
You do. So then, give me a notice check with the bonus for your ability. That's right, your mutation. So you're going to need more than one success, though. You need more than 1 6, because this is tough.
So I get 1 extra die. Is that what dice?
Yep. And you're doing something that you wouldn't normally even be able to do.
I got 3 6s.
Ooh, yes.
So literally, we'll get a cool close up. We're going to spend extra CGI budget for the Fox lady to get a nice close up of her with the super good graphics. You're able to smell, kind of past you on the wind, like a warmth and like a rich moisture of like someplace that might have trees, which is weird because no place out here has trees.
Cap. Cap, I smell trees.
Okay.
Torg.
Really?
Yes. Torg, go this way. Okay? Go to the right.
Or go right.
Okay.
So
Brilliantly done, Doctor.
I need sensitivity from Navad.
Okay.
And this is with your new advantage. It's the kind
Okay.
that's good for you.
Up 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'm about to sense a weirwood, aren't I? I got 1 6.
So remember how I said you're starting to learn how to read auras?
Yes.
So the direction that Wynona is pointing, you can see, and it's faint and kind of fades in and out, so it's like glimmering, Have you ever seen, like, they use it sometimes, they misuse it for things like for the Forest Service, but most often it's done by, it's sort of like a druidical, like, it's often kind of a religious thing. Sometimes it's pseudo-Norse, like they show the life tree this way, where the top of it shows the tree and then the bottom's the root structure.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like a double curved blade.
Yeah.
You're seeing an aura like that of massive size the direction you're going. And so the root part is literally under the ground.
But I'm sensing that.
Yep.
Do I have so I can see it, do I have a sense of like danger? Is this good? Is this bad? Is it a neutral? It's just like data.
Insight check to me.
An insight check.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the fuck out of these game mechanics.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The dice
I got
hold
a
you
success.
back.
It's true.
6, 5, 1, and 4. So I got a success.
A success. It feels, the emotion would be warm, maybe with a hint of welcoming.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Wynona, who sensed this.
One is now walking behind Torg, who is now still doing the push the snow aside thing. But
Right.
I would take I'd spend the money for the crane shot so that we can see you from above, which would be very Dr. Sleep, snow, so you see burrowing through the snow, and then the whole thing just goes left.
Right.
You're now heading the direction
correct.
the Wynona's pointing. Yeah.
Right. Correct. Sorry, I keep saying right.
Yeah. Third base.
So, all right, wait, okay, hold on. So we are heading in the direction of the aura. Okay, well, am I close enough to Wynona to confide this in her?
Absolutely are.
Dr. Wynona.
Yes.
So you smelled something?
Yeah, I smell trees.
I can see like a really big tree presence. We're going the right way. It feels good.
See, when we work together, I can smell and you can see. Torg can feel, and Goldwater, well, he can have maggots.
Yeah.
Good.
We're going the right way.
Going the right way.
I
Yes.
just wanted to let you know.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And did I see some extra muscles when you were taking off your you been working out?
Just been trying to work out a little bit, I guess. I mean, maybe Nomi will be out here in the desert or something. I don't know.
I didn't get to meet her, so I hope so.
She's pretty cool.
Is she?
Pretty cool.
45 minutes later.
She's terrible. He's lying. She's terrible. She's the worst person.
Is that the maggots talking, or are you?
No, this is me talking. But
We had very different experiences.
Toward you're pushing forward and you come to the end of the snowdrift. So the blue snow stops, and up ahead is grass. And there's grass and
Torg.
plants and trees.
Okay, Torg wants to make sure Torg not have frost brain. Everyone else see tree and life and growy things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so Torg, it doesn't look right either, because the storm just stops, right? Like a line. Like it isn't in the area. There's no snow on the trees or the grass. It just stops.
Now, Torg, Torg smart. Torg no genius, but Torg smart. However, Torg, this is not right, correct? I mean, Torg feel like this very wrong.
I agree.
Okay, good. Torg, sometime Torg worry, but at least I'm not the only one who know this cuckoo.
Do you all step out of the snow onto the grass?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So what you notice, by the way, is the liquid falling in the snow is blue tinged. So as it's melting, you're all a little smurfy because it's like somebody put like a tossed a purple slushy at you. So you've got like this blue fluid on you.
Lord Navad, you've got something on your.
Got some too.
Oh
My
no!
jacket's kind of messed up.
So does Tahana. Oh, you know what? I bet we all have blue. Are we all blue face?
You're all blue faced.
Goldwater, are you still alive in there? And I like peek in between some of the layers of cloth.
Yes.
You've gone, by the way, from sub-zero to about 76 degrees
Like as soon as you cross the line,
as soon as you cross.
just instantly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, the Torg immediately just starts ripping off layers of clothing because instantaneously it becomes like a sauna of wet nastiness inside.
Up ahead, a naked woman comes into view. Not
Well,
entirely naked. She's wearing one long strip of homespun cloth. So it doesn't really cover anything, but it's worn kind of Grecian style with a belt. And she also has a shoulder slung bag with some stuff in it. She's otherwise nude.
I cover Lord Navad's eyes.
I put Goldwater's scarf eye thing back. Just don't worry about it.
She looks at you and smiles.
Torg just says, "Well, that's a look."
She giggles musically. She has a arrow painted on her forehead in green, an upward pointing arrow.
Any of this ring a bell? Oh, go ahead, Torg.
Not at all.
So sorry. Torg just, being Torg says, "Hi, I'm Torg. You good or you bad?"
Hello, Torg. I like to think I'm good. I was picking
Great.
berries.
Do you think you can tell me and friend exactly why Icewall bye-bye?
Oh, you found your way to Haven.
Come again?
This is Haven. Welcome. Would you like a berry?
Torg looks around at family and kind of like sees if everyone else feels like this is okay or if more questions need to be asked.
Do whatever you want, Torg. I'm obviously hallucinating all this.
Oh, we don't really know if these berries are non-poisonous. So.
Oh, I hope they're not. I was going to have them for breakfast.
Hold on. So Goldwater's kind of out of commission. But he was out in the Desolation the last time. Was Haven the name of the place where Nomi and Kay were going off to? I can't. My notes are a mess. This is a new name.
And if it was, that's my mistake. It should be.
Oh, okay.
It's not that same thing.
This is not an Easter egg from 2 episodes ago.
It is not. There will be Easter eggs, but I will call them out when you call.
Okay, perfect. For a second, I was like, ooh, was this a place we were supposed to go? Okay.
And they also went out of the Desolation.
Yeah. They were going to watch the TV show Haven together.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, there's no TV in the Desolation, so they had to get out to watch it.
They had to go watch it. Okay.
That's why your notes don't make any sense, because you
Time for Wapner. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Time for Wapner.
Okay, so Navad does not jump in.
Nobody recognizes any of this. She approaches Torg and hands Torg 3 berries. They're kind of a purplish, plump. You and Wynona probably recognize them. They're a kind of berry that doesn't really grow in the Desolation because nothing does, but they're regional. They're nothing weird. Yeah, you can identify them as being edible for sure.
Great. So in that case, Torg looks at a cloth lady and says, Thank you, cloth lady.
I'm Beth.
Beth, Torg, Beth, Torg. Now we acquaint.
Your friend,
Now, Torg, go on.
Your friend doesn't look well. Is he okay?
No, well, that's what Torg was going to say. Is Torg appreciates Barry in hand. However, would you possibly have Barry in hand for rest of party?
We should see Father.
Father as in your father, or father as in, like?
Well, kind of between the two. I mean, he's not my dad. His name is Jordan. He
And then Torg whispers and goes, "Is this Colt?"
So you whisper?
Yeah, I whispered to her.
She giggles again.
And then Torg goes, "Well."
Would you, Beth, have any ointment for people that might have an infection? Any sort of treatment for a wound or maggots? I don't know.
Well, Diane does most of the healing here, but yeah, she has supplies.
Could I take Goldwater to Diane?
Well, we don't allow things of the ruined world into the newborn haven.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
Is that Father's rule?
Well, the way he explains it is it's part of what makes this all possible. So it's not a rule like don't stay up really late. It's a rule like ice is going to melt and eventually you die. It's a rule.
But we're here.
Well,
and everything's still green. So
the closer you get to the heart, the closer you get to Haven itself. I mean, I don't know. We've never had anyone in who's brought outside things inside, but we're told that it would be very bad.
Well, would we have to be single cloth like you in order to take water of gold into Haven to heal?
Probably the best. I mean, I could get you shifts like mine.
Okay.
I mean, Torg, no shame. So Torg fine with it, but Torg obviously need to consult with everyone else.
Well, and it's not a matter of shame. I could get you larger shifts if you wish to cover yourself. I don't care about such things, and that's not important. All I understand is the important part is this is a new place. This is a new world. The things from the past are toxic here.
That's stuff, but not people, right?
The stuff, so things.
Okay.
People can follow the path and purify themselves.
And I nudge Torg. Colt.
Colt. Torg do Colt.
Okay. Goldwater is needing some help. So if you could give those shifts, I need an extra large one. I have a lot of stuff to cover. I'm a repressed Catholic, so I'm not good with nudity.
Okay.
We could do that chop before my friend here.
Oh, okay. I'll get a blanket for you. I'll be right back. Try to stay close to the edge until I find out from Father what's dangerous.
Oh, I have just maybe you could bring medicine back too?
No, you should see Diane in her hut.
Well, maybe Diane could come with you to bring some shifts?
You know your nudity is beautiful. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, I'm just trying to come up with ways that we don't have to go in there and you could come to us, but okay.
I'm not sure how excited some of my friends would be, I'm guessing that some of those things you're carrying are weapons.
Yes.
That's probably not okay too.
Did she say that sincerely? Like she doesn't recognize weapons?
Insight check.
Oh, yes. Two successes.
She said some. So you think some of the things you're carrying, and when you watch her again, you're a captain, you're very good at this shit. She's probably tracking the simple stuff like melee weapons and crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem to fully grok what the guns are and is just
Oh.
guessing.
Oh, the pirate in her just.
Yeah.
A little mouth watering. Just. We should fix Goldwater, and that's the only thing we're thinking about right now. Definitely.
Make a willpower save.
All right, please roll. No,
Okay.
I didn't.
So you don't have to do a thing, although I could invoke darkness and have it happen before you notice, but I'm not going to because I'm saving it. You realize you're rolling your piggy around in your hand, because one thing addicts do is under stress, right?
Yeah.
So you realize you're doing it then.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the group, and I think she accidentally crushes it in her hand.
Ha! So we get a little close up of like the juice from it. So it's like one of those gel caps.
Yeah.
Just down your hand.
And then, like, as she's flicking it away, like now that's like the new habit is just like flicky fingers, and she looks visibly agitated.
Torg, you caught that, and you know what that means. All right, I'm going to go get your shifts. I'll be right back. And she runs off.
Weird. Torg, you're right. I think this is definitely a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Torg knows they right. Quick sec. Torg gotta have time with Torg's not very good at subtlety.
Colt, can you give us the captain and Torg 2 up, please? Thanks.
Torg just want to have a little chit chat, hang out, private session. Nothing, no serious, just friendly. And Torg just starts laughing and then grabs the captain and like veers her off to like so that they're private.
Yeah.
Torg recognize what happened here. Was that last?
No, there's one more. You know, in case the group needs help with some of the food we've foraged.
Understand. Torg understand. Torg just want to make sure that you cool.
And I think it's like bright and warm here, yeah?
Oh yeah. It's beautiful.
Sweet. I think you see better than like any other point that like shadows are just coalescing around her now, and her face goes completely dark, and her eyes that are like super narrow, you just see like a little bit of burning like glow. I'm fine. If you have something to say, Torg, why don't you just go ahead and say it?
Torg really appreciate Captain willingness to save Piggy for sake of other. However, Torg feel like the best case for everyone is for you to maybe enjoy a little Piggy. It's feeling a little cold in here, and it's like hot. It's very hot. So we should not be cold because we on the other side of ice wall. If you catch drift, Torg worried about friend.
Friend. Okay. Look, I'm very good at what I do. And unfortunately, the naivete exhibited by Beth the cloth lady is Piggy is not the only thing I'm addicted to. I live in this little shit stain on the far side of the world because stealing stuff, taking it from the weak, and keeping it for myself, that's what I love more than anything else, even more than this drug.
Let's go back to full screen. Beth returns with a very fit-looking man, late 30s, dressed the same way, equally, mostly nude. He has a very large white mohawk, and they're carrying just bunches of cloth over their arms. Hello?
Okay, we table this conversation real quick, but we be back to this. Just Torg ask as friend that you try to hold off for now. Because if this bad Colt, Torg totally on you side. However, we don't know what kind Colt yet. Most Colt very bad. But maybe some people innocent. So just give Torg
Benefit of the doubt, of course.
Father, I'm assuming. I don't know if you go by dad or daddy or papa. I'm not sure what.
Usually Mark.
Mark. Oh, okay. You do have a name. Listen, this is my friend Goldwater. He
has the same gold arrow on his foot, the same green arrow on his foot.
Oh, good. Directional. He has an infection due to a wound, and we need some type of ointment or treatment. I don't know if you have anything that could help him feel better.
So he gestures for Beth to leave you alone. Most of you pick, I'm going to say, Goldwater's a little out of it. Nevada's 17 and a half. The other three of you, who all happen to be women, notice that she obeys him automatically. He just does kind of a wave, and she just takes that.
I nudged the crap out of Torg. Like, we're keeping a tally now, baby. That's one for the kill them all and take their stuff pile.
Mark says, we talked to Father, and as long as you leave your weapons here and don't bring the things of the dead world into the live world, Diane can treat your friend.
Hey, Captain Torg, we on board with that?
Well, I'm here personally. I think you should just go.
Why?
So you don't have to make you don't have to make inside rolls. It's very clear he's very nervous about what he's saying. Other people have come here like you and haven't left. Beth was one of those people.
What about people like Goldwater or Lord Nevad?
Yeah, you've sort of figured that out already on your own, haven't you? Which is why I'm saying maybe you should just go back into the snow.
This hallucination's terrible.
Unlike Beth, he does not laugh. He seems very serious. We're expected, so if you're going to go in, you're going to have to strip and put these on.
Torg asks because now Did the cat? Okay, quick. Just is the captain the only person that could tell? Wait, no, because you told me that. No, we had the conversation. You let me know they were simple. So Torg is kind of picked up on the fact that they don't realize guns are guns.
Right.
So Torg says, "Wait, who has a gun in this group?"
Goldwater is bristling with them.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay. So Torg goes, "Okay, we leave weapon here. That's fine. Torg understand weapons, can stay. However, what about our very sick friend's backpack? It is harmless and does nothing but carry his beloved items." And
the gun.
what Torg is actually referring to are the guns.
And he says.
Yeah, he says guns. Oh.
So Beth didn't know about the guns.
All right.
It's not safe to say more, and I think you understand more than we're talking about.
We could help you.
No, it seems like you're a willing participant in whatever this is.
Yes and no. It's
Mark.
Look, I don't know your name, but lady, it's cold out there. It's harsh. It's
Captain.
Oh shit. He looks at you, make an insight check.
2 successes.
The same look of mythologized fear goes over his face as you are annoyed in your shadow stalking.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's powerful. This is a safe place, and he takes care of those that follow the path. I've seen worse places out here. I've seen warlords that have done worse.
All right.
Then why you feel need to warn?
Because I loved Beth. Beth knows what a fucking gun is.
What did he do to Beth?
The more we talk, the higher. Look, I don't understand how, but he's done something to this place. There's rituals we do. It seems to strengthen. It's bigger now than it was when we started. I'm afraid for my life to act against him.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. Torg, if I can be equally honest with you, I've got 3 in the fun pile and none in the other one.
Hey, Captain. Torg not fan of women being controlled. Torg fan of you plan. And Torg give you okay and will 100% be on your side.
Mark seems very nervous. Look, there's...
we can get my clothes off and get me to where I won't die.
We're working on it, Goldwater.
Why are we waiting? What is happening? I have holes drilled in me by maggots.
Do you start pulling your clothes off?
Yeah. I unwrap myself. I just roll myself until I wrap myself from the cloth I was wrapped in the whole time. Just like, this is what hurts and this is what happened to me and I've never felt worse. And I've been shot, stabbed.
Like, to me, like Barrett coming back late from like a dead dog party and going to bed and like, what the hell was Shannon talking about? And like, what's coming off? Yeah, okay.
What?
So
It's a dead dog party.
When your show is over, but necessarily you haven't wrapped. It's an in-cast celebration for a performance.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Dead dog party.
Never heard of that term.
Maybe it's the Chicago thing. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Okay.
They use it the convention.
I don't think any of us know what you're talking about.
Convention Circuit 2 uses dead dog parties.
I lay on the floor with Goldwater and tell him we're going to collect taxes from these people, and if he just is patient, we'll figure this out.
You're trying to placate me. Look, taxes later. Look at me, and I like hold up my arm and I bandage down. I'm like, look at me. You're a doctor.
I think you'll get the very satisfying and painful bit of flesh, like pulling down a little bit when you do that.
Yeah.
Mark.
You can't fix me, doctor.
There are good people here, Captain.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to get our friend taken care of. We're not going to raise any fuss. And we're not going to tell anyone who would be worried about us being there to be worried. Are we, Mark? And then whenever what's going to happen happens, as long as you stay out of our way, you'll be fine. But I need you to know that every rumor you have heard is true.
Intimidate at a +1 die, please.
Heck yeah. That's all the dice that I brought out.
That's all the dice. Yeah.
That's all of them. It's all 8 of them.
It just says bucket o' dice.
I got 4 6s.
There you go.
I want to cry.
Shannon, I hear you, but I know where the whole thing has to go into.
Sure.
Yeah, we need a little bit more of a spot. He carefully tips the bag he's carrying, so you can see he has a big, wide-bladed knife in there. They say nothing from the outside, nothing from the old world. But there's 48 of us, and he's armed us all. I mean, I know the fact that this is not an old world knife doesn't make it less a knife, but he draws that distinction to those who've gone soft.
I still like our odds. What do you want to do, group?
I think we need to, because Goldwater will not sustain. Navad, you haven't spoken. No, you're just a kid, but
I hate to say this, but if it comes down to some sort of confrontation, as you figured out, the women, he turns to Navad. Look, the captain is obviously the leader here. But if you need to take the lead, it's going to work better against those that have gone soft brain. I mean, I don't know how old you are, kid, but your friend here, who seems like the obvious choice, he points to Goldwater, is the one who's sick. But you're going to need to man up.
We should have Torg do it. Torg's a man when he wants to be.
Will Torg be a man when Torg is naked?
Torg is Torg, and also Torg, not like implication of question, because there's many different ways that a naked man look, and you seem to have a very narrow view.
I'm trying, but I'm trying to think about what these people are going to do. What I do isn't going to matter much.
If you are talking about needing someone to man up.
No, I mean visibly have a penis. I mean if someone's been conditioned. Now the other thing you can do is we can, look, I got maybe half a dozen people like me that are dissatisfied. And if you decide not to leave your stuff here and your friend can live long enough, we can just go in with weapons and try to take over. I mean, the guy is some kind of sorcerer. I don't know.
What do you think that we were all proposing? Also, Torg, not much a fan of your politic. So regardless, we gonna come in and destroy what we can.
I
And
think
save what we can. Obs, because we no want women to be under control of shitty penis man. However,
He actually
just know
laughs
you're not
slightly.
on our side, you against us.
I was the nice one. Isn't that wild?
Look, I know the legend of the black spot, all right? And I know I haven't seen it yet, and I'm afraid that I will. Can you oppose a magician?
We have a magician.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
Oh, well, that might be entirely different.
Avad.
Whatever he's doing has taken root in this place. It's grown trees in the desolation. I mean, I'm sure all of us in some way are lending him power. We do rituals every day, but that's significant strength.
Navad, I think as much as it normally pains me to cede power, I think for the time, you can take over for the group. We'll bide our time, get Goldwater well.
I'm gonna start levitating in front of the guy.
I definitely see the camera swinging over to the three powerful women that could snap you like a fucking twig, just all looking at you like, what you got, man?
So, I just got to show Mark, right?
Apparently, well, he thinks you need to show the people in the village who will react to you without opposing.
Yeah, you have to take point on this because it's a
Okay.
bunch of...
I'd rather fight than Navad would rather fight than get naked, certainly. So he's had plenty of conversations with Torg about these issues. So Torg like trained him up. You know what I mean? That he is like, yeah. I don't play with this stuff. So I'm gonna kind of confer, Tahna, Wynona, Torg.
You're going to call me Captain if I'm going to call you
Captain
Lord.
Captain Tahna. Sorry.
Say my name.
I will float into town. I'll levitate into town, but you guys have point behind me so that I'm the distraction and you can lay waste to what's going on in the town.
Look, I'm here. I'm all for just going in and wrecking shop. But I think we run the risk of ruining our best chance at getting Goldwater up and on our side. And I don't know, does he fight?
Yeah, when he's well.
So if they have magic, maybe they can magically get him up to speed. And now it's 5 on 48.
Captain, looking at his stuff, Torg is the one you'd bet on in a hand-to-hand fight.
Oh yeah, of course.
Goldwater looks like a bristling with guns, burn him down kind of fighter.
Yeah. I want everyone to do what they do best.
I'm wondering, do you know where Diana is, Mark?
So everything they built here has been built fresh from trees from the New World. There's nothing that came in from the outside, and that must be part of whatever this ritual of spell is. So there's an entire village there, like the whole buildings, yurts. We have homespun, we have animals. So there's a village over there, and she has a hut where she does her business, and she's our healer. She's a good woman. But you have your own magician, right? It's you.
It's me. Yeah.
All right. I'm a little less nervous now, and I have a small crossbow in my hut. I mean, some of us we've been talking about mutiny, but we don't.
Ooh, I don't like that word.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rebellion.
I like that much more.
All right. So you're saying you want to go in long enough to get Diane to do her work and then turn around?
They'll also give you time to go gather the other half dozen or so.
I'm certainly willing to do that, especially if I don't have to see the spot. All right. So some of you will stay here with the guns, right? And then Navad will come in with your wounded friend at least. Or are you all going to come in? But the only problem with that is you want to be able on your signal to come in with your weapons, right?
Yeah.
So you can't all go in.
I'll stay with the guns.
All right. So the doctor will take the wounded man to Diane. I'll try to distract the others with your magician. What's your name, sir?
My name is Lord Navad.
Oh, Lord, I didn't know. I'm sorry. So Lord Navad. And then will you stay with us or with the guns, Torg?
Well, Torg feel like Torg need to get lay of land.
Yeah, it doesn't
Torg
look like
also not big fan of you, and Torg would also like to keep eye on you. Torg not sure you're quite on our side yet.
if it helps at all, I'm not a big fan of me right now either. I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Well, if that is your plan, then you need to be on our side, and also you going to let me come with.
Oh, I'm not going to let you do anything. It's you travel with the black spot. I will do what the captain says. I may have made mistakes up to this point, but I'm not going to make any more like that. Well, I may be a little stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
And maybe Beth will go back to being her old self, and you can rekindle.
I hope so. All right. So, it's just going to be who's staying with the guns.
Yep.
Just the captain.
Yes, sir.
So it's the captain, a big pile of hardware.
Yeah.
So everybody else is.
It's like the end of Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Oh,
else
God.
is sort of nudies with the shifts and the belts.
Sure.
Okay.
I have the blanket over me.
And they brought different size so you don't have to be running around.
Size guilt, please.
Yeah,
thank you.
exactly. Because like they said,
Torg
that's
takes the smallest one possible
you
because
have a
Torg
thing over your shoulder.
Like a
does
like,
not give a
handkerchief.
shit.
Yeah.
You have a thing like for drying dishes just over one shoulder. Okay. So you head into everybody but the captain heads into Haven. And like Mark said, everything here has been built fresh. So it's in a way in a post-apocalyptic hellhole in the middle of a damn red desert. It's nice to see a place that kind of looks like vacation cabins on really nice land. Like that would be how it would look, right? So it's that crossed with like an 1880s reenactment settlement. Like, so there's people doing homespun, there's people, so they're producing all the things you need. So you see the people, there's a guy acting as a tailor working with the homespun, there's somebody spinning threads, that kind of shit. So it's in a sense got a very wholesome vibe to it. But what was that the movie that no one should see, not Heredity, the other one that was about the Swedish village?
The witch?
No, I love
Oh,
the Witch.
Midsommar, one of the greatest movies ever
We're gonna
of
have
all
a
fucking
we're gonna have
time.
a talk about Midsommar. But
Oh, no, you're not. Don't you try to talk to a woman about that. Every single woman I know will fucking tear you down about how that movie fucking made us cry and weep because we know what it's like to be fucking controlled by men and not have a goddamn say. And I was in an emotionally abusive relationship, and that movie fucking spoke to me. So
yeah,
unless you want to have a talk of me putting you in your place.
I put aside my perspective as yours is clearly more well earned. I have a different point of view of it because I was not you. So my reaction was, well, this is clearly not for me. I've been in other movies like that and gone, oh, this is not speaking to me. What do I do? You know, it's a strange position to be in. But my point is,
Sorry, that's a very.
Oh no.
But what
It's
we're
like the
saying is
most
this place is
feminist
like
movie
Midsommar.
Made by like a fucking white dude. I don't know how that movie came out of him, but like that movie is fucking
and
feminist
Shannon's
as
right.
shit.
The reason I invoked it is because I did have enough awareness to use that as the reference for this point because of exactly everything that you said. So when you walk into the village, the vibe you get is exactly the one that wrecked you, because that's what this village is powered by, right? So it's got that same wholesome, not wholesome, something out of phase feel to it, that I think, like people reacting to the movie, some of you will go, oh shit. And others will be like, oh, you know, what are the fries like? You know, so depending on where you're coming into the village, like for example, I'm not sure Navad, given what we've known about Navad, would immediately get the creepy pasta, like subcarrier feel of this. Whereas I think the people walking with you all would.
Yeah.
You know, now maybe Eric might have got it, Goldwater might have, but I don't think Navad would. You know.
No.
So that's what's going on. And you see in the middle of the place, and Navad, you do see that all of that energy from the roots and from the top is wound around this guy. So like you took them like threads and just wound them in the middle, they're wound around a single guy who's early middle age and was probably in fairly good shape at some point in his life, but he's kind of let himself go a little. So he's a little dad bod potty.
Okay.
But has the demeanor of somebody who remembers being in shape and has that weird sort of almost unearned confidence from it.
Sure.
So he's the kind of guy that walks kind of flat-footed. So somebody who doesn't look and kind of buy into it would say, wow, you're kind of a load, huh? Whereas other people might look and go, oh, well, you're interesting. So he's got that, again, you look, and I think including Navad, look and say, oh, that guy is clearly, even without the energy thing, you're like, oh, that's clearly the leader. And not because he feels like magnificent, almost the opposite. He also has, he's a mutant, he has satyr horns. And people are approaching him and they're going about their day, and people come up and they're all calling him father. And Mark says, if we can avoid it, just, and Diane's hut is off to the left. If we can avoid talking to father, just, I know if he does talk to you, don't look into his eyes.
I say let's try to avoid Papa and just try to get Goldwater some help.
Okay. So you can tell that father is trying to break loose to come over and talk to you, but he's kind of locked up by people coming up constantly. So he's got almost like the celebrity at a convention problem.
Sure.
Where you really want to go and see the cool dice at the booth, but you can't because they want to talk to you about a show you did 20 years ago and you can't move. That's happening. So you can see he's maybe even a little.
Say that like it's a bad thing.
If you're a terrible man who's trying to cross the room, it is. So he takes you in, and there is an older woman, and she's got a small kind of like country doctor setup. And she has things in little pots. They have ceramic pots. So you can tell Wynona, she's got her doctoring supplies. So this is definitely like a medicine woman. You know, what's the name of that character? I tried to make a reference to a show.
Dr. Quinn.
I tried to drop a Dr. Quinn reference. They don't work if you don't remember the name. She is like a little bit of a Dr. Quinn thing going on. Oh, please lay him down.
Come on, Goldwater. Up you go.
Here we go.
Oh, you have layers of stuff wrong. Were those storm mites?
Yes.
Yes, I guess.
What's this sunburn? Weren't you out in the Desolation?
I have very sensitive skin.
She turns down the little, and she's got like an oil light, so it's actually got a wick. Mark is still out front of the boat. So Wynona, you're in as planned with Goldwater. Navad and Torg are standing with Mark. And Father is actually finally coming over. The other super delightful thing about him, and it's connected to his magic, sadly, is he is forever turgid. And he approaches in very satirical fashion. Hello, welcome to Haven. I am Father.
I'm Lord Navad.
Lord Navad. Excellent. Who has named you this?
I named myself.
Ah, someone of strong will and good character. Make a willpower save.
I got a lot of dice.
Yeah, it's kind of your thing.
Oh yeah, I got 2 successes.
Make a sensitivity roll, and this is magic.
I got a success.
You can feel these compliments like tentacles coming out of his head, trying to worm them their way into yours.
And I dropped the dice. I got a partial.
He raises an eyebrow. He says, I am Diorden. And he raises his hand. He's got a wedding ring made of a loop of thorns. I am husband to Gaia. I am of the green tradition. This is my domain. You don't belong here, Lord Navad.
We don't intend on staying.
It's your friend.
Yes.
And once he's healed, you're gone?
Yes.
Fine. Do you need food?
The last thing we ate tasted like a foot, so yes.
I've been able to cull some animals here, and they thrive in the less harsh environment. So we do have some food, and some we can share, assuming our compact is held and we respect each other's domains. Which tradition do you follow, Dave?
I don't know. I just do stuff.
He raised the same eyebrow again. Wild magic, but you must have some focus.
I know stuff and I break stuff.
Well, I don't want that here, so hopefully things go well.
I hope so too.
So Wynona, you're watching her. She seems to be acting in good faith. You know enough to know if she was secretly poisoning or not. Like, and she will also, seeing you watching, ask for things. And it's not like stupid, like hand me a scalpel nonsense, but like, we need something to get his swelling down. She immediately starts working with you if you're open to that. Okay, so it's going to take you an hour or two, and she'll say, he'll probably fall asleep for a little while. When he wakes up, he'll be well on the mend. And the good news is he will be all right. But whatever you did here, you acted quickly and decisively, and I think you'll be fine.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of help from my friends, so we need this little guy,
He reaches to shake your hand, which is a little of a strange gesture. Do you shake it?
Yes.
She passes you a piece of paper.
Okay. I just read it.
Well, in front of her?
I turn my back.
Turn your back? Okay. It says, "The satyr is evil. Get me out of here."
So yeah, once he's better, we shall be taking our leave, and
I'll give you. She hands you one of the pots. something for that the peeling, and it's going to take a little while for that to go away completely. This should help. Make sure he doesn't scratch.
Okay. Do you have a big cone? Put over his head.
And Borks. Bork.
He's sensitive about that. He had a cone on human's back.
Lovely dog.
Yeah, that's what we call him. He's a good boy. We rescued him. We are into rescuing people and beings that need our help.
Then I will be of any help I can. But I should go talk to my brother and our cousin. I could maybe use a little help here.
Okay.
Wink, 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 wink. I say from the table. No.
Wait a minute. Let me get the help I can get. Just give me about 10 minutes.
That would be appreciated.
And she looks nervous, but she gathers up a kit bag and she hustles in. So the satyr with the heart on talks to Navad, and then once you've talked, he apparently was serious about like the whatever he means by the domain thing, because he looked like he had wanted to address Torg. It doesn't. Like just kind of looks not directly at you and just leaves.
Torg, I think we're gonna have to mess this place up.
Torg definitely agree.
So
Torg down for destroy.
is anyone going to get the captain? How will you arrange the timing there?
Yes. Basically, we need to formulate a plan of some sort. Obviously. So let me see. Torg tries to whisper to Navad, or grabs Wynona and Navad for like a huddle, a quick huddle, because you said that the asshole walked away, right?
Tahna, you're going to have at least a couple of minutes where we're not going to need you. So let's give Tahna a Tahna break.
Oh, okay.
Wait, aren't we? Okay.
Yeah, put this right in Front Street. This part of the plot can cascade over into session 2.
Great.
But
Awesome.
that means we have more in session 2 we have time to resolve. So my thought was, if we push this a little farther, the resolution of it, you have a bunch of people who are naked who have knives, and you have a pile of guns like Scarface in the other room. We're not going to dice that out. Kind of like the distraction thing. You don't need to. Can a regenerated Goldwater hold off a dozen guys with primitive knives? Yeah, probably. Maybe what we could do is, although I do have a negative karma left, we could leave that as the cliffhanger and literally open with the combat scene. You want to do that?
I think that is the I think that's the spot, right? We're like, I think Torg and Navad are basically saying we got to go tell Captain Tahna.
Yeah.
That
Mark's
game on
help,
time.
Yeah, with Mark's help, you can get that all set up for like a signal or something, and then we can literally open the next session with fight happens.
Exactly.
And then the doctor will have gotten whatever help. Doctor and Mark will have gotten whatever help is in the town, and it's a big roll a bunch of dice. Make sure nobody gets seriously hurt, but it's going to be in your favor because you're not seeing a bunch of guns in the town, and resolve that and figure out what you leave the place with, and then move back into the rest of your mission.
Yeah, it sounds good.
That
sounds
good. Yeah.
All right. Well, we just decided we're done, Tahna. I think that's on you.
No.
I don't think she heard because she was putting her earphones in.
Well, we decided we're done while you're away.
We hit the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've decided that we're gonna actually say between this sitting and the next, you'll have formulated the plans. The signal can go off, and we are literally going to start with people rolling initiative
Perf.
and
Cool.
just open fire, right? And then
Awesome.
that's the story, and then poor Barrett, his character will be able to fully, although he was like fun as fuck being walking wounded, but he'll have his faculties back, you know.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That was the only thing I was like, I'm all for. Yeah, I was like, I'm all for just running in and wrecking shop, but like, I don't want to have like one of the people at the table being like, I guess I just am shitting myself in the back.
The plan had been to have the healer heal him before you did the fight. So that was what you were saying going in, is we have to get him done.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be without Goldwater. He's in.
Cool.
All right. So, all right. A big fun next time. Literally guns blazing, and so episode 2 of this story will be next week, Monday, same time, same bat place, same bat channel. And thanks to everybody. And we're going to go credits to Shannon. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in to Nuked, episode 7. We would like to thank Andreas Fabus for doing the voiceover at the beginning of the show, Qui-Gon Bowers as our moderator, Colt Joyce on the 1s and 2s in the background, our technical director, and a huge, huge, huge shout out to Aabria Iyengar, who is playing Captain Tahna. Fantastic job. Go check out the season finale of Pirates of Leviathan on the YouTube stream of Dimension 20. Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely. 4 o'clock Pacific.
4 o'clock Central?
4 Pacific.
4 Pacific, so 6 Central. Go check it out. Very fun. You get to see the finale of her playing her character, Myrtle the Bitch. So
I'm good at playing mean people.
All right, and until then, we'll see you in the wasteland.